You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Yeah, you come in on a Monday. It's April 1st. We're not screwing around with the dumb April Fool's stuff, okay? But,
oh, wow.
I mean, I've already seen like 15 things. I retweeted and unretweeted something quickly.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
They already got you?
Yeah.
Come on,
they didn't
Brent.
really get me. Like, it was like, because I got it as I was doing it. I was like, oh, okay, I forgot today's the
Still
day.
got you a little bit,
Yeah,
though.
kind of almost.
Yeah.
I've been gotten worse.
Okay.
Okay. So, by Fakey and Rappaports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those have been worse. But I always think about, like, hey, what are we going to talk? There's so much coming off the weekend. I mean, we got a lot to talk sports, but I'm not worried about the sports stuff. That's one thing. And it's a beautiful weekend at Jacksonville. It's fun, kind of nice. I mean, just fantastic. We got that. We got April. We got the Masters on the horizon. We got the NFL draft month. We got Shock Your Mock coming up. Mm-hmm. I was pissed off driving home last night at like 12:30 or whatever because I got a letter from the HOA again.
Here we go.
Here we go in the HOA. Like, I don't want to do the HOA. I mean, we all know the HOA sucks. Like, everybody knows the HOA sucks. But I just can't help but think of, it doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in. If you have an HOA, like, why am I getting a letter because I got a tree that's overhanging my driveway and therefore it's when it rains, I got some sloppy stuff that ends up on the driveway. Now I got to power wash, right? Like, it's right in front of my garage door. The car covers it up like half the time. Like, when was this person looking at this spot on my driveway that I've got to now power wash or whatever?
Okay.
But when I drive home at like 12:30 at night, I've got cars on both sides of the road.
Call the cops, man. Snitch on them. Let's
both
go.
Both sides of the road. I mean, you could almost not get a bicycle through there, never mind my truck. Good thing I'm a damn good driver and I was a valet parker. So last night at like 12:30, in front of those houses, I just beeped the horn a couple times.
Jeez.
That's going to be my new thing. If I beep
Beeping
the
the horn?
Yeah, I'm just going to beep the horn. I hope I wake your ass up.
Hey, how about you just go to the doorstep and say, move the car?
No, I don't understand why that's not an HOA thing. There's two. I thought of another one this weekend. You guys, you know, like the neighborhoods, and you got the curve. If you park on the curve, you can't get by. Like, you gotta wait. You need a freaking red light.
Oh man,
this is dangerous stuff.
You and Hammy need to start
this?
a podcast called The Daily Rant or something, and you guys need to just spitball daily rants.
They're worried about my 4x4 little piece of driveway that's got a little dirt on it.
Sure.
But we can't, like, eliminate both sides parking in the neighborhood.
Okay, but here's the question. What is both sides parking? Why does it bother you?
Because you almost can't get by.
Okay.
Like, I mean, literally, it's like...
Now, do you live in an alley, though? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't get by? Okay.
That's this. If I put two cars, if I go this road right here,
yeah,
Central Parkway.
Yeah,
if I go put two cars right across from each other,
yes,
it's not easy to get by.
Okay, I got you.
I'm taking mirrors off. I have to, like, close my mirrors or take them down or whatever. I'll fold them in.
Do you have rules where it's like if it's a certain day you can't park on one side of the street or not? It's not nothing like that. Okay, I got you.
Maybe we need that.
Yeah, that's what Wisconsin's got, man.
See, the thing about it's what's happened in our neighborhood. We got there in like 2008, and I'm sure this happened a lot of places. Mm-hmm. It's grown up, but the kids are like, now the kids, like our kids were 3 when we got here. Yeah. Now they're driving. Mm-hmm. So we have way more cars in the neighborhood, which makes sense. Like, we do too. We've got like 3 cars in our driveway now. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want me to get onto the neighbor that parks the car right behind where you back out of the driveway, we get on that, even though I love the neighbor, but I haven't yet done it. But I always say, like, if I hit the lottery, I am ramming back into that car one day, like, so fast, and I'll buy the damn guy a new car. But I am ramming into that sucker. Like, and I want that I want them to just, I'm going to video them coming out, be like, what happened? What happened? You parked right behind when I got 16-year-olds driving. Are you crazy?
Man, I can't wait till I grow up one day and have to deal with this.
Well, you living like in the beach. A beach must be like 10 times
we're chilling.
Worse.
Nah, man, we're chilling. We're chilling. I had a neighbor make me cookies yesterday. We're just chilling, man. Like, people park on the lawn.
Made you cookies?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't tell them to make me the cookies. They just came over and brought me some cookies. Oh, thank you. Yeah, man, we're just chilling at the beach, honestly. No No HOA, no issues. People parking on the street, on the sidewalk. Doesn't matter, man. Just, it's the beach. It's good vibes. No, I mean, this is just literally like, hey, I'm not the most sociable neighbor, believe it or not. So I talked to them like a couple days ago. I'm like, hey, it's great to meet you. Here's some cookies. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm not going to make you guys anything at all, but I appreciate the effort. I don't got time,
I'll protect your home if needed.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. I will keep a lookout. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, you do that to me, and there's going to be issues.
It made me feel better.
A beep.
I don't care. By the way, you get me on that ring cam. I don't care. There's nothing wrong with beeping. There's more wrong with parking on both sides of the road. I don't get it.
Oh, man.
Got by the speed trap this morning on the way up here, too. Those should be illegal. That's another thing.
Oh.
Do you think is there anybody out there that does an HOA podcast? Like, if you did an HOA podcast, you'd kill it.
Like, in terms of complaining about the HOA, or like an HOA, like the homeowner association actually doing a podcast?
No. Complain about the HOA. Okay. HOA has enough damn power. Don't give them the microphone.
Well, I don't know what we're doing. Okay.
But if we started like an HOA podcast,
yeah,
I think we'd kill it.
Okay.
Like the HOA. Look,
you think you kill it?
Look at the chat. It's already going. It's Hamby talking now. It's not on the stream. We silenced him today.
Well, Hamby, I mean, for real, though, if he was talking.
I know.
Okay, I got you. I mean, Hamby, let's address that real quick.
We're good now.
You think if there was a podcast, like, just bad-mouthing the HOA of your neighborhood, you think that would do big numbers in terms of everybody?
Okay. Yeah, not just my neighborhood. I mean, across
it's just
the country.
Hey, Jerry Seinfeld, what's the deal with these HOAs? Like, I mean, I feel like you could do a stand-up routine about it.
You can.
Yeah,
no,
let's get it.
It's a great hot-button thing. It gets... I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
People can relate to it.
Some pay probably like a lot of money. I don't know what we are, but the silence of the Hamby.
The silence of the Hamby. Oh, I love it, man.
We're off to a rock and roll and start here.
Man.
I mean, hey, we're 6 minutes in, and you've already dropped 3 choice words.
I know it. My voice is cracking a little bit. Got me going. And I had a great weekend. I mean, this is great. But that HOA, man, there's something. There's something about them. Something about them, I think, gets people fun. Here's the other. Have you ever been on? See, you're not living in this world.
I'm not.
Have you ever been on one of these? You grew up in like a community neighborhood, cul-de-sac-y kind of place. Like they have these message
called the
boards.
burbs.
They have these message boards.
East Arlington, baby.
Did they have a message board on like Facebook?
Oh, dude, that was so when I did a different morning show.
Yeah.
I invented a segment where I lied about being one of those neighborhoods, and I joined the group, and then I would read out loud people's complaints on the radio.
That again? Can we bring that over?
Bring it over.
They still doing it?
Bring it over.
Because that's fantastic.
Bring it over.
Like I don't read it, but Steph actually does. And she'll
I thought it was funny. People didn't think it was whatever.
They didn't think it was funny?
I thought, listeners, whatever. Hey, it wasn't my call. Well, I thought it was a great segment.
Maybe we just reached a different audience.
I guess so.
This audience will like it a lot better.
And like especially Jacksonville, and this was like I'm not gonna say the neighborhood because I don't want to get in trouble for it. But I literally faked like I was part of this neighborhood, and then I had like all the privilege to see like all the because it's on what's it called? Next Door was the
Next
the app.
Door. That's what it is called. You're right.
Yeah. So then, dude, like some of these complaints were wild,
it's unreal.
So like all I did was I would change people's names. But everything else was like verbatim of what people were saying.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was proud of
that.
it. Mm-hmm.
We should bring that. We'll steal that.
Yeah, let's steal it.
Because
there's nothing to steal. It's public domain. Let's take it.
That's true. Yeah, it's fine. But I think it might work better here because our audience isn't as sensitive. The problem is you were talking to the actual people who were writing that stuff.
That's a good point. That makes a little more sense. Yes, gotcha.
Brent Martineau Austen Lane, Brent and Austin Show. Jason Hamby, the silence of the Hamby. I love it. That's going to be a thing.
Hamby. Yeah.
Hope you did have a nice weekend. Wow, what a good sports weekend too. As now we got the Final Four all set.
Yeah,
your champ's still in it. UConn, they're dominant. Our champ's out. Houston.
Thanks for playing, guys.
Alabama beat Clemson, so Hamby got that. Dang it. Well, I thought Clemson really pissed that game away.
Free throws, man.
Yeah, and they're not a bad free throw shooting team.
Yeah.
And I had just actually, I think there are two things I said, I think, to you guys or Ty or somebody in the last couple weeks about this tournament. I thought the free throw shooting on a whole is better. I think we talked about that at Strings the other day.
Yeah.
I think it's just better. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to miss and you're going to have games like Clemson had a game. But I do think it's better overall. I think guys are better at it. I mean, heck, even Zach Edey who airballed one and missed some. He's got a heck of a shot for 7'4".
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good-looking shot from the free throw line. I mean, we've seen some bad ones now over the years, especially from the big fellas.
Yes.
The other thing that I said, I saw somebody get fouled on a three-point shot. I thought this was like an epidemic years ago. So much so that I think they've changed some of the rules, right? That you can't kind of kick into. Is that just the NBA or is that in college?
Yeah, you can't throw the leg out.
Can't throw the leg out, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But bottom line is, I think teams are way better at not fouling. I don't know if that's something. Have you guys noticed it in the tournament? Like, I haven't noticed as many of those.
Yeah, there's a lot more discipline when it comes to that. I would say so.
So anyway, those are just two observations. The other big observation from the NCAA tournament, and it has to be, well, there's two more really for me.
Mm-hmm.
One is the big men. This is a guard tournament most years. This is known as a guard tournament. And the big men have basically dominated the tournament.
They have. I mean, Burns, obviously, Edie, and then the cat from UConn that can never pronounce his name correctly.
He's huge, too.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer.
They're just so good everywhere that he doesn't get as much love. But
but he was a difference in the Marquette game. He's making his height known.
Illinois missed 21 layups.
Yeah. Klingon, there it is. I think when we talk about, it's funny because this whole tournament's been about the guard play. And like the big men kind of took a back seat a little bit. Now you have three legit big men who aren't like a Wembanyama where they're going to like go on the perimeter and shoot threes. Like these are all just legitimate throwback post big men, and they're making all the difference in the world. And I think it begs the question going forward of, are we going to see a resurgence? Are we going to see a resurgence of the post big men? I mean, in college, maybe. In the NBA, it's kind of hard to fathom, but Edie playing like he wants to be a top 15 NBA draft pick. Burns, I hope, gets a shot one day to be in the NBA. And then, Klingon or whatever that guy's name is might get a shot as well. And it's not like these guys are extending the perimeter. It's not like these guys are great ball handlers per se. They're big men who post up and get the job done.
Yeah, I think they've been so good. Burns, I mean, now all of a sudden Burns become like he's Edie's the guy, right? When you don't have to use the ladder to cut down the nets,
I know, man.
That's something special.
Yeah,
that was terrific, by the way.
Yeah.
That just puts it in perspective how big he is. He's the biggest mismatch going in the tournament for obvious reasons. I do think he's hard to officiate. I know a lot of people were complaining about the officiation of that. It's kind of like LeBron. I think LeBron's a hard guy to officiate. If you want to play him, if you want to defend him, you're going to hit him. You got to hit him.
Yeah.
But he's a freight train. Edie, kind of a different animal here, but he's hard to officiate. But Burns is a character, man. He's full-blown, like he's everybody's favorite. I mean, Steph just said this morning, he's like, Steph's like, I'm rooting for NC State. Like, she loves the guy. How do you not? I mean, he's hanging out with the band. He's taking pictures with security people. He plays the game with a smile on his face, man. It's pretty cool.
Well, and he even said, I'm playing this game because I have fun playing it. As soon as I stop having fun, I'm not going to play this game anymore. So I think it's really telling in terms of and I thought it really interesting, too. They asked him after the game, what's been the difference? He's like, oh, well, we're going to practice now on time and we're showing up and everything. And it's like, what was going on during the regular season?
Yeah, true.
But nevertheless, I mean, they're playing like a team that's got nothing to lose, that has all the chips on their shoulder, and most importantly, you see it on the sidelines, they're having a blast playing the game, and it's contagious, and they're dominating because of it.
Okay, so I've got this. Do you like this Final Four?
Okay.
Is it good? Because I kind of feel like it's got a little bit of everything. We got 4 different conferences. Right, you got the Big East, ACC, the SEC, and now Purdue, the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. You've got dominant teams, Purdue and UConn. You've got Alabama, who missed their chance last year as a 1, but here they are in the Final Four. You've got Purdue, missed their chance last year, but here they are on the revenge tour. You've got Cinderella as NC State. You've got a team that hasn't been there since 1983 in NC State. You've got a team... is Alabama a first-timer? Yeah, I think they're the first-timer. Purdue hasn't been there since, 1980? Do I have that right? I think in the Final Four. And then you have UConn trying to win it back-to-back. Mm-hmm. I mean, it actually is delivering in the Final Four with everything. And I don't know how you can't say anybody could win it, although UConn is a dominant team.
Yeah, I mean, UConn's got to be by far the favorite.
I get it. I get it. But we know sports. I mean,
we know
these teams are
sports.
capable. This isn't like a 15 seed in the Final Four.
I just think that if you hold the best scoring offense in the country and you go on a 30-0 run,
that's unbelievable,
against the best supposed offense in the country, I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't, and once again, like it could be Purdue, it could be NC. I just think, man, UConn's on a different level right now. And I say this and watching it beat the next game, but
because that's sports.
It's sports, but they haven't given me any reason to think that they're not going to win the whole thing.
I get that.
I mean, I get that the first half, Illinois, Marcus Damas was going off. Well, they had a solution for him in the second half. And like I said, UConn's got everything. They have guard play. They have the big men. They have great coaching. They play great defense. It's just hard to fathom how UConn can let this whole thing slip through its fingers.
Stylistically, they're not only just good, but stylistically, I feel like they're playing a different game than everybody, and it's like the college basketball. I'm not saying they're reinventing basketball, but college basketball hasn't figured out how to stop what they're doing the last 2 years. Because let's be honest, they've been dominant. Now you're starting to ask dominance. Like 111 points is the differential in their 4 games. The modern-day record, I believe I read, was 129 by Kentucky whenever. UConn had a 120-point differential last year, which means they've got to get 19 points. They've got to beat their next 2 opponents by 19 points. And are you betting against them? They haven't lost a game in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years they haven't won a game by less than 13.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is incredible dominance almost out of nowhere. I don't think we paid enough attention to the dominance of UConn in last year's tournament, and really ever since they got one loss this calendar year so far, I think, to Seton Hall. And they were without their big man, I think, in most of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always see in the tournament where the favorites, we hype them up and then they always let you down. And make no mistake about it, UConn was the front runner coming into the tournament. Everyone was saying, man, too many people like them. They're going to get upset. It hasn't even been close. Like, it hasn't even been, I get it. Once again, the Illinois game, first half, cool. I mean, it was back and forth. Call it what you want. It's a 2-half game. The game wasn't even close. Nobody has played UConn close this entire tournament. And in terms of matchups, I can't see Alabama. Once again, I say this and watch me, bite my words, but yes. I just can't see a team beating UConn. I really can't.
Well, I actually think Alabama has maybe a recipe because they can shoot the threes.
Sure.
And so if they fall, that's a recipe to beat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Honest. I mean, it is. It's just the recipe if they're falling. Now, UConn's very good defensively too. So it's really hard. Really hard. So here's the question. You're answering it. Can anyone beat UConn? And so what you're saying is no.
I mean, listen, it's basketball. Right? Anything can happen. Nobody saw NC State going as far as they did. Now, I didn't like them against Marquette. I mean, I was worried about Marquette because Marquette's more of a finesse team, and I like NC State just because they're physical, get in your face, and once again, play with a chip on their shoulder. I just think UConn is on a different level right now.
Yeah, I mean, they do feel that way. I don't know if I'm even I don't hate UConn. I don't mind it. I just don't know if I like all the dominance. It's weird. It's a tournament that you don't see dominance. That's an uncomfortable thing about this tournament. You don't get a lot of that. You don't get a run through. Now, listen, NC State has been dominant in their own right, but they're not a dominant basketball program or team or anything else. This is truly Cinderella. All you have to do is go back to that ACC tournament, the shot they hit against Virginia to force overtime. If they don't make that shot, they're not even in the dance. Which also has me thinking, because I've been up and down. We haven't got to the topic I want to get to on Greg Sankey. He's the head honcho of the SEC, as everybody knows. Is it official? Is he a commissioner? Yeah,
he's just different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what they call it? Commissioner.
Yeah.
Commissioner of the SEC. And he said before the tournament, basically paraphrasing, hey, maybe we shouldn't have so many Cinderellas. You should have more depth of the Power 5 conferences because those teams have a better chance. Well, and then he's got egg on his face when SEC goes 1-5 in the first day. Yeah. Now they almost get 2 in the Final Four. They do have 1 in the Final Four. And I think what he's talking about is not necessarily one of his conference teams. It's actually NC State. NC State is exactly what he's talking about. If you get these teams in, they are actually capable of going on a run. But what I would counter with is, come on, Sankey, the beauty of this tournament is George Mason making it the Final Four, too. And they've been able to do it. And VCU's been able to do it. Other teams have been able to do it, So,
on deep runs.
Yeah, it's still the beauty of the tournament. And that wasn't that long ago. So I don't agree with him, but I would just say there's a little added fuel to what he's saying because NC State is actually delivering on, I think, what he was kind of talking about.
Well, I mean, here's what I feel about it. You have to give a chance to the mid-majors to get in. Now, we talked about this a little bit on the show before. I think with the transfer portal and everything, I think that makes things harder on mid-majors. I mean, if you look at Southern Illinois last year, if they still had Marcus Damask and the number 55 from Purdue, they'd probably be in a tournament right now, maybe doing something. But that's not the case, right? People want to transfer, people want to shot at the NBA, and people want to play for better programs. That's understandable. But you still have to give the mid-major their shot. Now, if you're Mr. Sankey, you're saying, hey, well, you know what? I think, a lower seeded or whatever SEC school should be in. Then win the conference tournament. Simple as that. If you're really that good of a team, then win the conference tournament. NC State did it. Now look at NC State. If they don't win the conference tournament, then they probably wouldn't be in, obviously. But that's the thing. You have to take game by game in your conference seriously. Right? Yeah. Because it means everything. And if you are on the outside of things, on that bubble, maybe not making the tournament, that's simple. Win your conference championship. That adds more, power to it. That adds, it's almost like must-see TV sometimes. So, yeah, win your conference championship, and we'll have to talk about it.
All right. The Final Four is all set. Should be good. Maybe we'll take a look at where we sit. I haven't even looked at the updates, so I'm sure Hamby can give us the update of that.
Can I just say in this whole bracket thing in our group, the most beautiful thing that I've seen is that there's somebody in our group says, I don't watch basketball. Their name is I don't watch college basketball, and they have NC State winning the whole thing.
Really? That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
That is the tournament, right?
That's beautiful.
That is why the experts don't win the bracket.
That is beautiful. Now, maybe they were being ironic and sarcastic. Maybe they do watch college basketball. But I'm just saying, there's somebody in our group called I don't watch college basketball, and they have NC State and winning the whole thing.
Well, here's the deal. If they watched basketball, they wouldn't have put NC State in the Final Four.
That's true.
Most likely, they would not have done that. All right, let's take a break. Brent and Austen Show, just get rolling on a Monday. We take it until 1 o'clock on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, which means all over social media, actionnewsjacks.com, the Action News Jacks app as well. Plenty of content going there. We'll have no gate fees on Wednesday this week. We'll have a week with Action Sports Jacks and Cup Day 2 coming off Richmond last night on the NASCAR Series. And there is Austin still dancing with UConn. Now, no Marquette, no Tennessee could try. Arizona obviously out, but he's got UConn, and that might be all he needs is to get that national champ. The points get so significant as you get later. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one-card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One-card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability.
Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part, they did it in one day.
It was a professional process from step one. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It's a new logo, new branding, but with Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. And with that comes the perks we miss in the big business world. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained. And they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. The folks at Bold City Heating and Air also know your AC unit is important and can be a big expense. That's why they have financing to help. No payments, no interest for 12 months on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown. Bold City Heating and Air.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
It is shorts weather now. I was just thinking of this coming in. Now, I know you're shorts weather all the time. But for me, I feel like I'm turned into shorts now for the first time. Like I look like Casper. I'm so legs are so
milk of magnesia Martineau, everybody.
By now I've usually got about 20, 25 rounds of golf in.
Yeah.
I mean, could accentuate the calves a little bit.
There you go, man.
With some walking and exercise and maybe a little sun.
There you go.
Hasn't been the case so
Get that
far.
vitamin D. Nothing, huh? You haven't been in the sun, man?
Not really.
What's going on? Get out there.
I know, man.
Beautiful weekend.
Yeah. I feel like I got to get the clubs out of the garage or something. We got to sneak out somehow, try to play. Brent Martineau Austen Lane, Brent and Austin show, and wow, we are draft time for the Jags, huh? A month away. It's a little bit quiet, a little calm before the storm. We do have Shock Your Mock season coming up. We're going to try to get that going later in the week with maybe a celebrity edition of Shock Your Mock, whatever that looks like. But then, should we give them a little sneak peek of how Shock Your Mock is working?
Well, I mean, we've told them a little. We've given them. I mean,
we have like millions.
We have new listeners. Yeah, for sure. Ever since the whole Patrick Mahomes incident, I'm sure a lot of Swifties have been on here now. Yeah, I got you.
So
hit them with it, Brent.
Well, so we're doing basically a bracket.
Yes.
Right? And we are going to have 2 straight weeks of bracket play.
Come on.
That we'll get into a winner's pile. And then we'll have the final week there where we go from like 16 to 8 to 4 to champion.
Yes.
I think is how it's done.
Yes.
We're still trying to figure it out too. No, but that sounds about right. So it's basically a 3-week edition of Shock Your Mock, 4 days a week. And we'll conclude with draft day or maybe even the eve of the draft. We'll figure that part out. So you've got to start doing this and figuring it out and send us your Shock Your Mocks if you want to be involved with it. That portion will start Monday. We'll basically pick out of a hat, grab a couple, and you're going to be pitted against somebody else. So this isn't just Austin roasting your mock. No, we roast 2 mocks.
Back-to-back mocks.
But right next to each other and we decide which one's the better mock.
Correct.
To go into the bracket, and then the fans will decide who is the champion once we get to bracket play.
This is correct. So
I explained that pretty well, didn't I?
Very well. Yep. So there's going to be 2 brackets per day. I'm sorry, I did a horrible job explaining it. There's going to be 2 mocks per day. They'll be on the screen. Brent and I will break them down. Me and Brent each get 1 vote. We will vote who we think is better. If there is a tie, then we will let the kids decide. Call it the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards because Hamby will come in with the deciding factor and establish whose mock truly is better, and then we will go from there. And listen, take this seriously, okay? Don't just put Grant Delpit 25 times and expect me to, vote you no. So bring your A games, okay? Because not only will we be judging you, but if you go on to the bracket, if you go on into the finals, entire Jaguars Twitter will be judging you, and it can be ruthless out there, everybody.
It can be pretty bad. Now, and that I like this. So I like what you've done. You've done a little twist on the rebirth of the Shock Your Mock because it can get a little, I don't know about stale. It's always fun. Yeah. But you can get a lot of the similar ones. So this will promote, I think, having some different looks and who's doing what. And, we were going to say, hey, why don't you get everything from a certain website so we can follow along because each one does different stuff. We're not going to do that. Wherever you get your Shock Your Mock, you just got to send us the picture, image, and the best way to do that is probably on social media, just in a tweet or something like that. But you know how to find us. If you have any questions about how to find us and want to be involved, just shoot us a tweet or whatever on the message board and we'll let you know. Yeah, I mean, if you want to use, the Amazon powered by AWS Shock Your Mock version, by all means. Chris Collinsworth would love you. I was just going to say, well, that's not Chris Collinsworth. Isn't he PFF? I think he's got the AWS as well stuff too. I think it's tied in. Well, because they might sponsor the show one day, so we'll go with AWS for sure. If you want to use the nerds at PFF, it could dock you a little bit. Just saying. It could. I mean, from where I'm sitting, it might knock you a little bit. We'll see. Take that for how you want. Maybe not from where I'm sitting. Just take it for how you want. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. We'll get to some Major League Baseball stuff. I think there was an interesting play this week involving your Brewers. It's an opening weekend that was pretty interesting anyway. And we'll have some football conversation coming up too. But we're just talking about the Final Four. Mm-hmm. So I said this to somebody last night on TV, and I got heavy eyebrows. I'm telling you right now, and I think I'm being truthful. This is not me. I have no reason to promote the women's game. I am more interested in LSU Iowa tonight than I am of the Final Four games this weekend. Is that a ridiculous statement? No, I mean, I think you have the most drama built in to the LSU Iowa game. So no, not at all. I'm not telling you, by the way, I'm not predicting that the numbers will be better, right? Like, more people are going to watch this weekend's game, the men's game, the Final Four. I just think this could be Caitlin Clark's last game. Mm-hmm. Angel Reese, I don't think enough people have talked about her, quite frankly. Kim Mulkey's program and LSU have been under the gun, right or wrong. I mean, it's just part of the storyline. I mean, we like storylines. Some people will present this like like a good versus bad or something like that. I think that's ridiculous. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Mulkey. Well, there's the Times article now. Now there's the Times article. Haley Van Lilith is claiming racism. There's a lot going on. There's really a lot going on with LSU. Now, in some respects, I think Mulkey tried to get so far ahead of the Washington Post article that it's almost like she pleaded guilty before even seeing the piece. And it turns out the piece, at least across the board, wasn't as much of a hit piece as everybody suggested it might be. Like, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be worse based on her comments.
Yes.
Like, she probably brought more attention to that article. By the way, Kim Mulkey, I don't believe for a second you're not reading the article. You absolutely are reading the article. Let's not, Kim, you have a big ego. That's part of it. You're a big-time college basketball coach.
Have you seen her pantsuits?
You have a big ego.
She's in her own world, man.
You're reading about yourself.
I appreciate it, man.
So let's not go there, okay?
But then we could have a Friday Fits of just Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna get
maybe
canceled.
it's a good idea.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Yeah.
You got that.
So anyway, we go from there, and then she's like, okay, I'm going to divert attention from the Washington Post article to go to the LA Times article. And I'm not saying anything. I actually thought if you listened to her 4 minutes about where she was coming from, I think there was a lot of good points she made in the 4-minute news conference about that. Listen, the women's game has a platform right now that and has for 20 years. They've continued to grow the women's game. It's certainly not from a viewing perspective, from a dollars perspective, where the men's game is, whether you like that or not. That's just the reality. I mean, I can see the numbers. You can too. But I think they've done people like Kim Mulkey, right? People like Clark and Angel Reese and last year's thing. They've done a great job of raising the attention and awareness and the eyeballs to the sport of women's basketball. And I think it culminates tonight. It really does. Like, I'm intrigued by this. I asked on Saturday to myself, what time does Caitlin Clark play?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing for me. I've never said that in my life. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've never said that in my life. What time? Because it's kind of a phenomenon. It's a fear of missing out thing. I'm not even sure I'm its biggest Caitlin Clark fan. It's just, okay, if she's going to drop 48 tonight, I kind of want to see it.
So, no, without a doubt. And because, once again, you're witnessing greatness. It's wild, the fact where I'm sitting, that I've watched more LSU this tournament than I have Iowa. And it's not the fact that, like, I appreciate Caitlin Clark, and I love watching Caitlin Clark, but I love watching this LSU team because it's almost like, and I'm not like a really big reality television person, but I get the drama and just like the antics that people are attracted to. And with LSU, with Kim Mulkey at the helm and Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith and everybody, it's just it's almost like reality television in a way.
Yeah, that's a good
and
call.
I watched an entire half of the Middle Tennessee LSU game because Middle Tennessee was actually taking them to the limit in the first half, and then they kind of faltered at the end. But like, I saw live Angel Reese get in this girl's face and wave bye to her when she fouled out, and the girl was crying. And then I saw on social media people feeling a certain way about it, calling out Angel Reese, calling her a bunch of choice expletives, saying there's no room for that trash in the game, all this stuff. And it's just, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying I love it from the cocky standpoint, from the brash. Like, do you? Okay, you're on the stage. You're in that right to be on the stage. Do whatever you want. But I love it from the fact of when Draymond Green does it. Like, yeah, you may feel a certain type of way about it, but the game is better off with Draymond Green's antics.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Maybe
game
a little old by now.
I just think it's something to talk about, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think women's basketball is better off with Angel Reese's antics.
Yeah.
I really do. And I don't understand why we can't put that on the same plane as the men. I feel like if in a college basketball tournament, if a guy waves bye to somebody, like, yeah, you might see a couple choice words on Twitter, but like half of those people be laughing at it. Like that would be a meme. Angel Reese does it and it's like, what? She has no class, cocky. Like, what's the difference? Just it's basketball at a very high level. Go to any kind of playground, go to any kind of YMCA, and you see that exact same behavior. So why is it when a girl does it, we gotta feel a certain type of way and speak our minds, but when a dude does it, it's like, it's all good, man. There's guys being guys. It makes zero sense to me. I celebrate it. Angel Reese, do your thing. I hope it's gonna be. I mean, I'll be at a hockey game tonight, but I'm gonna be like on my cell phone watching a little bit of the Iowa LSU game.
And I thought Angel Reese was terrific yesterday. I think it was in her pregame in the interview. She's like, listen, we don't hate each other. Like, I'm fine. I like Caitlin Clark and respect her game. It's like, it's on the court stuff. And I think both of them are like that. I think there's Caitlin Clark has gotten criticism too by the way she acts on the court.
Yeah,
because there's so many eyeballs on her right now, and I have no problem with it. I mean, this is who we are. You're living under a microscope, and everything. If we all lived under that microscope, you'd pick things apart and everybody. That's just the way it is. I think it's great for the game. Honestly,
the game needs it,
but it's not only that. It's great for sports. That's what I'm telling. That's really where I'm coming from. I don't know if I'm lying to myself or not, but I'm telling you right now. I feel like I'm more interested in watching tonight's LSU-Iowa game than I am either Final Four game. And that's not to say that I'm not going to watch the Final Four game or I'm not interested in it. But I do think the storyline of Clark and LSU, at least for tonight in an Elite Eight game, is more important or bigger than UConn's dominance. And maybe it's UConn maybe has me sleepy a little bit. But there's no better storyline, and we've been saying this for weeks. There is not a better storyline in men's college basketball than what the women have going. The storyline's way better. Caitlin Clark has been legendary. Her career might end tonight, or she beats LSU, who she lost to in the championship game last year. LSU is as polarizing of a thing there is in sports right now. It just is. I name something else that's polarizing right now in sports. I don't know. So when I don't care if it's men, women, I don't care if it's basketball, soccer, whatever. Like those kind of storylines are just better. Mm-hmm. And you said, you might have really captured it. It does feel kind of like a reality show, and we like that. Like our society likes that.
Listen, I grew up with Reggie Miller looking at Spike Lee and his girl, whoever Spike Lee was with, and literally making the choking gesture in the middle of the court, and we all celebrated it, and we all said, man, Reggie's a gamer. Reggie's got that dog in him. You can't stop Reggie Miller. Now, Knicks fans hated it, obviously.
Or we hated him. Like,
yeah,
you pick sides.
Regardless. But, sides. I came from the realm of, listen, we're celebrating Reggie Miller. Like, that was, because, dude, choked and then hit how many three-pointers win the game? Okay. In Madison Square Garden, of all places. Bring that back. Allow that. Embrace that. Like, it's good for the game. You don't, I understand people want to see, the sportsmanship, and that's important as well, but it's okay to be competitive. It's okay to, talk some smack because, once again, every single playground in America, if you're playing with kids that actually are worth anything in terms of basketball, you're going to get some of that.
Absolutely. And listen, I think there's a respect level there among competitors. I don't know if the outside public knows how to deal with it all the time, and especially now. I think, again, this is fascinating to me because you bring up that instance of Reggie Miller. And I mean, I have Larry Bird and the Lakers or Celtics-Lakers. I have, in my mind, Celtics-Pistons. I have Pistons-Bulls. Like, that was an era where you had you had to pick a side. You either liked it or you didn't. It rubbed you the wrong way or you embraced it. Mm-hmm. And here's the deal. We get rivalries in sports now because of the jerseys they wear, right? But we really don't get a lot of rivalries in sports between the competitors. Because everybody respects each other so much. Everybody does commercials with each other now. Everybody will be on the same team together in another year.
Everyone's trading jerseys now too.
Or NBA or professional baseball, whatever it is. I mean, the one beautiful thing about 03, 04, this is why I say this is like the greatest thing I've ever covered, is it wasn't just Yankees, Red Sox. Those guys legitimately defended the jersey and their fan base. Legit. Like, they did not like each other. Veritek and Rodriguez, or you name it. They didn't. That was a respect amongst some of the premier players, but they hated Pedro Martinez. They hated guys like Youkilis. Like, that does exist in sports sometimes, but I don't think we get it a lot. I really don't. We
don't get it as much
anymore.
as we used to. No, because everyone's changing, exchanging jerseys and talking after the game and everything, and and that's cool from the standpoint of everyone's trying to help each other, right? I talked about this before, like the whole tight end university, right?
That's right.
When I played, you weren't. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a Colts player or a Titans player that wants to have a university, like a DN university. Screw them. I'm not going to hang out with a Tennessee Titans player. Like, no, that's just not. But the game has changed now, and you know what? And some things have changed for the better. Yeah. But I think in terms of a rivalry, I think in terms of just the must-see, the drama, I think sports sometimes do lack a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I think baseball is really, you've seen the shift as much as almost any other sport because, guy gets on first base, he's having a full-on catch-up conversation with
Yeah.
the first baseman. You see that every time. The same thing on second, third, no matter what. I mean, you don't get that, 15, 20 years ago. That's why there's a lot of rivalries that don't seem to have that same punch as they did, because and I think a lot of it is kind of what y'all just mentioned, that, a year or two from now, they might be on that team. There's so much more, it seems like, guys that don't play their whole career in the same jersey, or don't play, there's so much more switching teams than, so there's not as much pride in that one team that you're on.
I think you're right a little bit there, but I also like that part of baseball sometimes. It's a long season, right? Like, you're playing each other a lot of different times. Like, I don't mind that. I'm a sucker for the handshake line. Not just in hockey, by the way, but that's a great example of you can go at it and then shake hands and have respect. Like, hockey shows both. Hockey shows I'm going to beat the hell out of you. I'm going to knock your teeth out. I want to beat you or beat you up, and then I shake hands with you after. Like, they're the epitome of really what sports should be at that stage. Super competitive. I hate your guts, but then nice job, right? Kind of like, to me, it reminds me a little bit of what you do for a living in the UFC and MMA.
Sure.
I think they do a lot of that too.
But even hockey's changed now. Like, I think where hockey lost a lot of its luster was back in the day, you let players monitor themselves, and players used to govern themselves. I mean, the biggest rivalry, at least in my lifetime, was the Wings Avalanche, all because of a cheap hit that led on years and years later, where both teams went after each other time and time again. You had goalies fighting each other. You had everything. Like, because the players monitored themselves. And then all of a sudden it became, all right, well, we have all this access now. We can't have guys fighting night in and night out, so let's clean up the game a little bit. When it's the playoffs, sure, up the intensity, but be careful fighting now. And that changed the game of hockey. I think it's with anything. It's with any sport now where we as a society, we love the access. We love the behind the scenes. We love the on the field. We love the sound, all of that. Well, when you start getting that, players got to kind of monitor themselves a little more, because some of the things that you hear in a huddle, some of the things that you hear in a pile, you aren't ready for.
Yeah.
So then it's like, all right, well, players got to monitor themselves a little more. We got to overlook them a little more, because, well, we don't want society to see what really goes on.
Yeah, that's true. That's there's a lot of truth to all of that. And I think we've got it tonight. I think LSU and Iowa give us a lot of that stuff. And by the way, I don't think Iowa's as good as they were last year. It doesn't look like. I mean, I'm not a guru on women's college basketball, but it doesn't feel like they are. It doesn't look like they are. I mean, I think LSU's probably better, and I think LSU probably wins it. This could be the end of Caitlin Clark's career, which really has been legendary. I mean, it's been an unbelievable career overall. She, Reese stole the headlines last year, and they won the title, and so it looked like, okay, this is going to be a great dynamic this year. It really wasn't. I mean, Caitlin Clark was the star of women's college basketball by far, over Angel Reese and even LSU. But that could end tonight. Is the point? I'll say this: they want her to win, though, right? I mean, she gets a ton of calls.
Oh no, without a doubt. I mean, she's getting $5 million from Ice Cube and the Big Three to join them and stuff, and and what we're not talking about either is South Carolina and their dominance.
Well,
in the
that's the
women's
funny
team.
thing in a way, right? Like, we're not talking that.
We're not talking about the best team at all. Like, but
they're undefeated.
by far the best team by far in women's college basketball.
They made 4 Final Fours in a row.
Yeah,
but we did just talk a lot about women's college basketball.
No, we really did, but we didn't mention the best team in women's college basketball. I'm trying to give them their flowers too as well.
Hey, since we're on this topic, let's go to the McNeil and Reese Hopkins stuff if we can, Hamby. We got a little time for this. So the Brewers and Mets play this week.
Yeah. And
I'd like to get – I always love this stuff in baseball because it really, to me, it harkens like old school baseball guy versus new school baseball guy or just a very casual baseball guy doesn't care about all the unwritten stuff and everything else. So here's what we got. I mean, this is great, first of all. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
And credit to Reese Hopkins because that dude's standing up the next day in the batter's box, and you don't know if you're about to get one in the ribs.
Hey, he took care of business. Don't worry about it.
and he took care of business.
Yesterday, bases loaded twice, didn't deliver, and that's fine. We still won. I say we because, I'm on the Brewers now. But no, this was...
Wait, didn't you get on to me last week for saying
I was kidding? Yeah, I know. That was supposed to be a joke, but I got you. Anyways,
I got onto you, by the way.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I was on him too. Don't worry about it. It's first of all, it's hard to be humble. Brewers are 3-0 right now. Yes, I'm already looking up playoff tickets of like trying to figure out like where they would be in the pennant and everything like that. So it's hard to stay focused on the show when the Brewers are so good. Yada yada yada. One thing about baseball players, though, okay, and what sparked all of that was basically, dude slides into second, right? Takes a little bit of a cleat to the calf. I'm sure that hurts. Didn't feel good. I understand. Guy misses it, so he slides in the second, hits the guy in the calf. He drops the ball, and then he can't throw it to first for a double play. Okay, whatever. Well, I mean, okay, it happens. My point is the jaw-jacking back and forth between these two, the antics, the benches clearing, and once again, all due respect to baseball players, but what is it with you guys who want to bow up your chests and talk all the smack, and then when it's come times to throw down, you're just like, nah, we're good, and we all just kind of walk casually back to the dugout, and maybe we put a little boo-hoo sign there, and then the guy's jaw-jacking again, and that's about it. Hamby, go ahead.
You're specifically talking about Hoskins, how McNeil was literally in his face pointing at him, and he says nothing and walks back, and then
talking about baseball players in general.
Yeah, this happens every time.
I know.
Mean, the bullpen thing is stupid.
Talking about baseball players in general.
Dumb.
The bullpen is the worst
It's
part
dumb.
because they come out walking, and then they're like, "Oh, should we go? Should we?"
Well,
not?
no, someone explain it to me. You guys are both baseball players.
I don't
Please.
get it. I don't. Well, listen, when we played ball, like you didn't have bullpens that were in the outfield.
Okay.
Okay. Like
Okay.
at least I didn't.
Okay.
Now it might have been down the line a little bit, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like you had 15 guys in the bullpen.
Okay, because I'm just saying this was football. Myles Garrett with a helmet would have come flying at you, trying to knock your teeth
Or
out.
Leonard Fournette across the field, right?
Just saying.
Throwing a punch in Buffalo.
So
or something like that.
please continue.
Yeah, I don't get. I mean, the whole thing is always dumb in baseball. That's why when you actually see one, you're like, whoa. Like when you see like punches.
Yeah.
And something that gets out of hand. But there's always the element of, okay, who's going to freak out here? And I think that's the interesting part. And it does. Here's what happens, I believe. Like people will downplay, okay, they're not really fighting. Well, in many respects, this doesn't happen in basketball a lot either. People leave or you don't want to get suspended for as long as you're going to get suspended.
Okay.
But what it does in baseball, more than anything else, is now you get you thinking, okay, when's the pitch coming? When's it going to happen? So it's not really the time that you're watching and everybody shows like, hey, the bench is cleared, and you get the ESPN alert, the bench is cleared. Well, we know what happened when the bench is cleared. They all went back.
Yeah.
Nobody did anything. But what happens 3 innings later? What happens 3 days later? What happens 3 months later? See, to me, that's the intrigue in baseball, is when were they going to get Hoskins? That's why I give Hoskins a ton of credit the next day. First at bat. You have no idea if you're about to get one in the ribs. These days with the command in baseball, the ear hole, or you're about to just go get pitched to regularly, and he, boom, jumped on the first pitch. I was like, that takes some guts now, because you're going to be a little bit like antsy in the box.
No, they did throw at him yesterday a little bit. There was one ball that kind of, okay.
Well, see, that's the problem
sweet
with throwing
chin
at
music.
people now is the command sucks so bad is guys don't even know how to throw at people.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really tired from that Mets reliever to throw at him after he was 3 for 3 with like 8 RBIs. Like, dude, that's like, and Hoskins came out and tweeted, and it's exactly right. That's how baseball governs itself. Like, if Hoskins gets plunked first pitch the next day after the slide in the ribs, I guarantee you he says nothing, he drops his bat, and he walks to first.
And this is my issue with baseball, I guess. Like, I respect how it governs itself, right? It's bigger than umpires, and that's a great thing in baseball, right? There's almost like an unwritten rule set that's been like since the beginning of baseball. Cool. If somebody hits me with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, or 95, that's probably slow, 95-mile-per-hour fastball in the ribs, I'm coming at you. I'm not just going to take my base. Like, dude, I've been shot with a paintball at less speed, and it hurts. Yes. Okay? Ask Joe Collin how much I dominated paintball with the Jaguars team outing. It was a thing of beauty. If somebody hits me, and once again, if you even try to go for my ear hole,
Well, that's a different story, yeah.
no, Brent, the ribs hurt too.
Well, the ribs do hurt. But isn't that actually shows you a little, there is a toughness about baseball players that they're willing to take a 97-mile fastball.
How tough are you if you don't defend yourself?
Well, suspensions and money
Give
and all
me a
that come
break
into
with-
play.
It's guaranteed money, is it not?
Totally guaranteed.
Is it guaranteed money? We have football. We have Myles Garrett swinging helmets, putting the whole season in jeopardy, not making anything. And baseball players, it's guaranteed money, and someone throws at you, you do nothing about it.
Hey, I will say the way that baseball
And I'm a Haskins, but this right here, my son does this.
I think
Come on,
I think
man.
it was Ty who told me he's like that should be the new double celebration for the Brewers all year.
Just this. I don't know, man.
The way that baseball
Young
players
baseball
salvaged the
players.
whole thing was Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson last year. Was like, okay, yeah, it is almost always pushing, shoving. Let's walk back to the dugout. But Jose Ramirez threw down.
Yeah.
And he kind of saved us.
I think
the
you
face
get
a little bit.
That's what it keeps you the unknown. Every handful of years, there's one that really goes down.
Bautista,
and I think
Odor.
these guys are more willing to throw down, by the way, than they used to be. I think there's I think there's a little bit more craziness with these 98-mile-an-hour throwers. And by the way, that's scary as hell. I mean, these guys are throwing 100 miles an hour now, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
And if it does come up near, I mean, your whole career flashes. See, this is what my whole thing on this McNeil stuff was. I get it. His whole season flashed in front of his eyes right there. That's why he was mostly mad. By rule, is that an illegal slide? Yes. By rule, should that be a legal slide? Probably not. I mean, his left leg and his right foot both were in jeopardy of being snapped on that play.
Okay.
And just because Hoskins slid very late.
Correct.
Did he slide by rule? Yes. But he slid very late. I thought it was kind of a dirty slide. And at the same time, I can see why McNeil was mad because as a baseball player, you play 162 games, and on game 1 or 2, your season's about over. That's what he thought happened in that moment.
Well,
Like,
then
I can see
give
why
him
he gets
something
pissed.
then. If you think your career's on the line, then let him know about it.
Yeah.
Don't just jaw jack with
I mean,
your
he did have him
Oakleys
down on the
on.
ground. He could have started pummeling him.
That's what I'm saying. What do we do? Hey, you know, if I'm a manager, Brent, you know what I'm doing? First thing I'm doing, I'm going to San Quentin. I'm going to find the best baseball player there. I'm going to get him out, and we're going to have an enforcer on our team. And if you want to throw out my players, you want to clear benches, guess what? We have the old enforcer coming out, and he'll take care of business.
Guy will play
So
like
if you
3
guys
games.
want to, that's fine. If you guys want to start talking smack with your Oakleys on and chewing your gum and spitting and everything, that's cool. We have an enforcer. Bring him out. Let's see what happens.
Sign Albert Bell to a
That's what I'm doing, man.
minimum contract.
Hamby, all these rules, though, in baseball, and now you can't put your foot in front of the bag. Like, not even if it's even impacted the play or not, you can't put your foot in front of the bag. And they're going to let a guy slide that late just because he held onto the bag at 6'4". Like, that's ridiculous. Like, if they're going to make all these rules, you got to still protect that guy he can't defend himself in that situation. Like, that's ridiculous for a guy to be in jeopardy that far behind the bag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you do it, but with all the stuff going on, there must be a determination where you could say, hey, you slid too late. Like, well, I don't understand why you can't police that. You slid too late.
Well, that's what they try to do is if the sliding too late would be if they lose contact with the bag and
He's
they
6'4". His feet are almost in the outfield.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you that it was a little late slide that he was trying to break it up, but you know, you can't say, oh, you have to give yourself up 15 feet before the bag and you can never slide hard into a base.
Come on, we've all played baseball. Everybody knows baseball. There's where you slide is not 15 feet early. There's a normal slide and then there's a late slide. And that checked every box of a late slide, whether he held onto the bag with his fingertips or not.
Still on there. Then break the rules,
And
Brent.
again, by the way, I'm okay.
Then
he
break
did
the
it.
rules.
I'm not talking about him then as much.
Okay.
It was a dirty slide in my opinion, but at the same time, that's Major League Baseball's fault. If you're going to penalize the guy for having his foot in front of the bag, even though it doesn't affect the play, well, then you better protect that same guy at second base that's 3 feet behind the bag and still getting stepped on.
I mean, if you compare what the rule is now and what players are allowed to do compared to what they were allowed to do 10 years ago, there has been a lot of added protection. But if you're going to tell me that I can never try to break up a double play at all, because that's what you're really, if you add more protection to the rule from what it is now, then pretty much what you're saying is you can never try to break up a double play.
Absolutely. You can still break up a double play hard.
How?
Yes, you can. You can go into by the way, it's all then based on technique. He was never even throwing the first. He wasn't even trying to throw it first.
Yeah, but I understand that because the transfer, it wasn't.
Well, even though he was still eating that ball. I mean, he wasn't going to throw it. But you can make a hard slide into second base, and then it all depends on the technique of the middle infielder or where the throw is or everything like that. Yeah, I mean, this one was way far over. I don't know how you police it. I get that he hung onto the bag.
Hey,
I just
you know
feel
how
like
police it?
you can help that
You know how
out.
you police it? Just give him a little.
Yeah, not only that.
I mean, do something.
You know how
like,
you
seriously.
police it? McNeil pummels him. That's
sitting-
why you police
I'm
it.
sitting here watching live, getting my popcorn. Like, oh, we're about to have a throwdown. Like, let's see what happens. Nothing.
If he starts throwing
time.
down on him right there, how many games suspended?
Seriously,
Probably 8.
8? Oh, that's nothing.
That'd be worth it.
That's nothing. Then do that. If you're afraid that your career's in jeopardy for the whole year, then take the 8-game suspension.
All right, McNeil,
You
stop
wuss.
whining and just hit him then,
You
damn it.
wuss.
I mean,
What's
one
up?
more point on that, Brent. Like,
Oh,
obviously, this rule is like Utley,
Yeah.
It goes back to that. But you really only see maybe one of these a year of a guy sliding late and it costing a guy time on the IL. So it's not like I understand that
Yeah, I
they
get
want
that.
to get protection, but it's not that big of a thing to where this is that big of a deal to where they need to further the rule again.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, like, you know what? I think that's a good point. Like, I'm okay with some of that. But I do get the angst of the middle infielder. I mean, it's a dangerous position to be in. And then the reason why I would come with you on this and what you say is because I think this kind of stuff is good for baseball. I think occasionally to have a dirty play, occasionally to have a little bit of a brouhaha, a little bit of a conversation on a Monday about it. I don't think that's bad for baseball, to police yourself. I think we've almost policed it in a sense, and maybe I'm asking for them to do it even more here, is too much. The fact that we give warnings now and you can't throw it at anybody because they'll stop it before. Like, I think the game had lasted for a long time policing itself. And I think there's an element of that I want to exist as much as I don't want robo-umps.
Yeah, see, I
Which
mean,
I saw your stupid tweet about that too, Hamby.
oh wow, shots fired. Listen, we could go
I need to pull
all
up the
day
picture?
about sliding into a base, and that's great and everything. I'm breaking the fourth wall here. Hey, Rob Manfred, if the guys clear the base or if they clear the dugout, fine everybody. All right. If everybody leaves the dugout and there's getting ready to be a skirmish and then nothing happens, everyone's getting fined. And the money can go to like the Boys and Girls Clubs of that respected city, whatever the case may be. I'm sick and tired of seeing people leave the benches and not do anything and jaw jack and not do anything and then go like this. Once again, Brewers, so I'm still a fan, but do this and then not do anything and then throw out a player and then not do anything. From now on, if the benches are cleared, Rob Manfred, get off the Ohtani stuff because it's not going to happen. We get it. We get it. Underneath the rug, sweep it. We get it. From now on, if the bench is clear, fine everybody.
That's awesome.
Unless someone throws a first punch. If a punch is thrown, then yes. Pay them extra. Give them bonus.
Give him a bonus. That'd be the best.
Oh, we're so concerned about the length of baseball. Guess what? It was 20 minutes from both benches clearing and just standing out there.
That's
Like,
what Manfred
like it's a
should-
national anthem. Like we're just standing there.
That's what Manfred should actually find.
Yeah.
You delayed the game by 20 minutes, so you guys are all
Yes.
fine.
Seriously. But no, man. Let's
And
keep.
there was no action going
Yeah.
on. If there's actually fighting,
Yeah.
well, then we'll subtract from the fine.
Yeah. But no, but to keep all the energy on the Ohtani stuff because we know dang well you're really concerned about that.
And hey, since you want to come at me, that's a ball.
Yeah, listen, he missed the call. I get it.
Oh, here we go.
I get it.
That,
but it's
okay, it's 2-2.
Be all right.
it was a
huh?
terrible
With the
miss.
bases juiced in the
happens,
first
though, huh?
inning. Then we walk the guy in the Castellanos is walking back to the dugout.
What is the game?
I get it.
Oh,
I get it.
So
Edmonton 3-0. I bet Connor McDavid scored a couple times there in the bottom
so,
right.
so if that's, I'm not saying we got to get robots back there, but in the minor leagues, they literally tap the helmet, they look up, they look on the pitch, they look on the strike zone, strike. Okay, ring them up, inning over. It's 2-0 going into the second.
Hammy, can you bring the picture back up one more time, please? I want to see something real quick. Yeah, Connor McDavid had 2 goals and an assist. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, don't
But he
really
sucks.
care.
By the end of the first-
but nobody cares.
not worried.
Yeah,
At the
but
end
nobody
of
cares.
the
Two
not
goals
worried
and
about
1
that.
assist, but no one's ever heard of Connor McDavid, I
I'm
guess.
not worried about the bally
Well,
ball
we just
right now.
we just spent 30 minutes talking about second base, so I'm gonna bring up some hockey as well.
Hey.
This Monday's off the rails.
Hey now.
We talked about the HOA for a good 20 minutes. Talked about second base for 20 minutes.
hell
I'm
of a
gonna
show.
throw in some Connor McDavid NHL news for 2 minutes.
All right, well, I'll help you out because the one point y'all didn't make about 20 minutes ago of why this might be tonight's LSU Iowa game might be more watched than the Final Four is because WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday night, and that's not an issue that the Final Four has ever had to deal with, so they might be losing viewers to WrestleMania.
Might be. Oh, they're losing.
I wonder how much
The Rock?
crossover that is.
Huh?
How much crossover is that?
Between wrestling fans and college basketball fans? Not as much as I bet you think there is.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
like
no.
football-wise, I could say yes. I don't know if that would be
NASCAR,
impacted.
sure.
But it is like the late night, right? I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be like 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock games, or 9:30 games, 10 o'clock games.
Yeah.
So that's when WrestleMania is at night, obviously.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, it's going to be back to. Is the women's tournament the next day, right?
It probably is Sunday.
Oh, no, is it
Tuesday or is it Friday, Sunday? It might be Friday, Sunday.
It's Friday something. It doesn't say.
because WrestleMania is
Friday,
2 nights, Brent. It's so big they couldn't put it in one night.
Well, no, but
That's a fact.
both the Final Four
how we do
women's
it.
games are Friday.
Yeah, and then the championship game's Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So the women's game is going to suffer too. Because WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. I don't know. There might be a WrestleMania extension.
Man.
Starts tonight.
Y'all should have
Reese
planned
versus
that better.
Clark.
You guys should have planned that better.
Hey, since you brought it up and since we're on a potpourri of sporting events here on a Monday, what was there stuff going around on The Rock? Was that real?
With what? Oh,
That extra stuff?
Yeah.
Was it real or was it fake?
Hey,
That's
Brent.
my point.
Hey.
Was it fake?
Hey, what do you mean was it fake?
Well, I mean, I
when
know
he was cussing and stuff and saying, even though, so what Brent's referring to is there's a video circulating where they said cut, right? Because the show is over.
Yeah.
And then The Rock said, forget that.
Yeah.
We're still, hey.
He's like, bleep that.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And then he put out this whole statement.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't stop when I do what I want to do.
Exactly.
So this was just part of the stuff, obviously.
Hey, you know what? I don't know. I'm tuning in to find out. Hey, Brent, who cares? Final boss is in the house. Oh, somebody even said Coach Rippey knows. Coach Rippey's got the final boss. Yeah, so Brent, this is his new moniker. He's the final boss now.
The Rock?
Yeah. So like if you play a video game, you don't get anything in Miss Pac-Man, obviously, so you don't know because that's all you play. But in other video games, there's bosses.
Yeah.
And he's the final boss, man.
This Pac-Man is a little more like Hoskins versus McNeil.
Oh, man.
And Mr. Pico says the highlight of UFL Week 1 was a field goal since we're hitting everything.
Oh, yeah, that was this past
Is that
weekend.
a 64-yarder? Did I also see like
Was that destroying?
I don't know who it was, but I also saw a punter throw it to a center for like 35-yard pass play. It's like,
Oh, man.
does anybody watch that stuff? I didn't even know the UFL was a
To
thing.
be honest, man, I had my hands full of
Mr.
baseball.
Pico was watching.
I had my hands full of baseball this past weekend.
Yeah. Hey, actually, you have so let's just keep rolling. Forget about breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't you have video of like Matthew Wright,
Yeah.
former Jags kicker? And so the new kickoff rule that everybody's been talking about, and this was interesting because he tweeted out a video showing all the different kicks like he's going to try to do.
Yeah.
And I thought this was fascinating because I do think there will be like a specialist almost for this stuff. I wonder if you could have somebody that's really good at it, worth an extra roster spot.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to interrupt real quick because I just realized, hey, Matt Wright, you're a UCF alum. What are you doing at USF headquarters? Are we good?
Is he really used to add in where he went to school?
He is a UCF guy, yeah.
Dang.
goodness gracious,
is he in the Dolphins
man.
or something? What's up?
I don't think is he in the league right now?
I think he's a free agent.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So he's
I think
trying to-
that's what this was.
It's kind of like his audition tape.
Yeah. Well, which actually isn't a bad idea,
Yeah,
right?
but squib it, though, right? Squib it one
I
time,
haven't seen
Matthew.
the squib yet.
Well, that's what I'm waiting. I mean,
Stop on the one, show right to left.
this could have been 100 takes, too, by the way. We have no idea how long this
It
took.
could have been. But I think this is what you're going to get,
I mean,
right?
do you think NFL scouts are salivating over this right now? Matthew, add some graphics to this.
Can I get a different
Get
angle?
some laser.
Also?
First of all,
You said
Brent.
Yeah,
this
it
is-
stopped on the one. Did it?
Brent, I'm gonna
Gosh,
be
you
honest,
guys are
man.
really like critiquing this thing.
Well, what? He kicked the ball. That's all I got from that.
All right, so but what I came away with thinking is
We should have went to break. Okay, go ahead.
we should have gone to break.
What do you got?
Will we see a specialist on top of a specialist? Like how coveted will a guy that actually can really do some things with the kickoff become? And does that guy necessarily have to be able to also kick field goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to have to all go hand in hand.
I mean,
here.
I would think ideally.
Yeah, or at least have like, there's some punters that are like good, like kickoff men too.
That's true. Like Logan Cook can kick off.
Yeah, so one of those guys is going to have to master that skill set. I have a hard time believing you're going to sacrifice a roster spot just for a kickoff specialist. But
What do you think, Hamby? You think we see? I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Like Logan Cook. First of all, these guys all have a ton of time on their hands to practice this stuff, and I say that respectfully. But Logan Cook can really do a bunch with a football, like as he punts it. He's tried different things. He incorporates, like sometimes he hits a ball, it looks like it's shanked. It's actually intentional because of what he's trying to do with the football, and it's really amazing. But I wonder, like, if that guy could be better at kicking it off because he knows what already to do with the football. It's totally a different skill set, it feels like, dropping one on your foot rather than kicking it off. But that doesn't mean, who's the guy they just got? Joey Sly.
Sly Dog.
Is very good at kicking it to the 6-yard line or angling it to the 5. Like, that almost becomes, I don't know about just as important, but a pretty important part of the kicker resume as it does kicking a 54-yard field goal.
But don't you think guys can practice this or not? Like,
Well,
I feel
can,
like
but
if you're good
you
at
can practice a lot of things and you might still not be very good at it.
Yeah, but if you're good at an onside kick, I don't know. I don't see that. I mean, who knows? The Jaguars had they had Josh Lambo and another kicker at the same time on the roster for a while, it seemed like.
Yeah, true.
And
they did do that.
Yeah. So that was a spot. I don't think you're going to see a kickoff specialist. I may be wrong here, but I think if you're a kicker in the National Football League,
You got some time on you.
and you can kick an onside kick, you're going to adapt and learn how to, give you what the coach wants.
I'm with Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I think that's the prevailing thought. I just would not see, I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 kickers on a roster in the near future on like a team or two. I'm not saying it's across the board. I don't think it's the norm. I just think you could get somebody, in this case, let's just use Matthew Wright, who's very good at that. And then you've got another guy, because here's the problem with Matthew Wright. He doesn't have a huge leg. In fact, some of the reasons why he wasn't in Jacksonville is he couldn't get the touchbacks enough. Well, now you don't want that. So now you've got a guy who can kick it between the 10 and the goal line, but he can do some funky things with the football. And then you've got a guy who can kick it 57 yards and 54 yards and has a leg like McManus or somebody like that. I just think I think they could create that situation. Now, is a team willing to do it? And what roster spot would you give up? Would you hold 3 tight ends instead of 4 or something like that? I predict it happens.
Okay.
Now, does it happen for a whole season?
Say
Does
the
it happen
video.
for a few weeks? I bet it happens, if not this year, the next 2 seasons.
So you think that there's going to be a kickoff specialist?
Yeah, I want to be clear here. I don't think it's across the board. I don't think they create 54 roster spots. I just think you will get a team that's a little outside the box and really values somebody. Because here's the thing. I don't think there are 50 or 30 Matthew Wrights that are going to be just good at that. But I think there might be one that's really good. Like, why not? Why can't you find a guy that's really good at that, but not necessarily great at kicking it through the uprights or for longer distance? This kickoff rule actually favors guys with weaker legs.
Well, you might see like a Chad Ochocinco, Dario Agumbawale out there doing it.
Yeah, see?
I doubt it.
Like
Now it's an athlete. Well, now you can play multiple positions, Brent.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. That's another way to make
See?
it.
Just saying.
Here, that is a true special teams guy.
By the way, probably the best comment I've ever seen in the chat, Glenn C. bringing Joey, Sly, and the family Stone.
Very good.
Shout out to everyday people.
The chat is working.
Everyday people
Today.
out there, everybody.
Chat's doing a good job. All right, let's take a break. We will hit one of those. Here we go on the Brent Austen Show. Hope you're having a good start to your Monday. And we keep talking a lot about football and also who won the opening weekend in Major League Baseball. I'll tell you who won around here. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Huge crowds on this opening weekend. They lost a couple of ball games, but terrific crowds in Jacksonville at 121 Financial Ballpark in the baseball grounds to start the Jumbo Shrimp season, including a sellout crowd on Friday.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
Alive Credit Union cares about our community. After all, it was founded by people in our community 70 years ago by a group of Florida Blue employees. And the mission still is to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. In here, they are more than just a bank. You can find Alive in the community providing financial education to our youth, sharing programs that are geared toward building credit and rebuilding credit, and supporting causes with amazing organizations like the American Lung Association. In March, Alive Credit Union was back for the 6th time as a sponsor of the American Lung Association's Fight for Air Climb. The event was over the weekend downtown. It was a good turnout with everyone taking steps for a good cause. And Action News Jax's Garrett Biedenbaugh emceed it. Be a part of our community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I'm Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Garrett Beaton. While the sun is up and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Sometimes you just need a day to yourself. And Garrett's First Alert forecast makes sure you're ready to go out and enjoy. Garrett and the Action News Jax This Morning team, helping you start your morning right.
Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Community. That's who we serve.
It's the people. Yes, the people.
Demanding answers. Because the truth matters.
When are you going to do the job?
Listening and getting help to those who need it.
I just appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
It's about telling stories from deep inside our neighborhoods, informing you, building connections, tracking storms.
Serious storm situation, the kind of which we rarely see.
Holding people accountable.
You were getting at the truth.
That's who we are. Action News Jax.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
We were just talking about this Rashee Rice thing in break, and there's something that strikes me about the professional athlete, or not even just the athlete right now. I feel like we have gone on a run overall, okay? I know you can give me examples, where I feel like athletes are not in the news as much as they used to be. And I don't know if that's a feel thing. I don't know if that's a Jacksonville thing where it's not happening as much. Because when I first got to town, actually, it was happening quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I'm right, but I just feel that way. How do you feel?
No, I'm with you. And it's wild, too, because obviously I think they're covered more than ever, right? Like social media, there's news at the tip of your fingers if somebody messes up.
But I think that's part of the reason why they know it.
True. So I think, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of athletes getting in trouble, you see it every once in a while. But I think back, obviously the 90s and stuff was different at a different time. But I don't see it as much as I used to. Yeah, to prove your point.
Yeah, and so I wonder if I should change. Should I do this, guys?
Oh, wow.
Should I go to this scene behind me with the lights for this segment?
Oh, man.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no. I'd say.
What is happening right now?
Do you see the light?
You see the
light behind Brent?
Yeah,
well,
the police lights.
Hamby,
light segment.
Hamby, you've never been in trouble, huh? Cherries and berries?
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? The cherries and berries? The cops?
But why is that happening? Has that ever happened before?
No,
Brent made it happen. Brent has all the power here in this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't want to give anybody like a seizure or anything.
Oh, you're good, man.
So we'll go back to regular. But
that was a nice time. I'm glad that we have that.
Yeah, just for it kind of adds a little something else. Now, next time it'll be a little more subtle. I don't have to announce it.
For sure.
I'd be better off.
Yep.
But anyway, I just feel like for what you just said, they're under the microscope. I think people know it. We've had this conversation about the Georgia guys just last week. I think for the same reasons. There's money on the line. There's reputation. There's image. There's endorsements. And sure, I would hope the responsibility of being a law-abiding citizen and also being a teammate and everything else. But I do think the NFL and sports has now shown that, hey, they're going to lay the hammer.
Yeah.
Right? So but what strikes me is recently, whether it's the Georgia conversation or, as serious as the Henry Ruggs situation was, or this one, which is still serious, and I don't know the end game yet with Rashee Rice. Why is everything involving a vehicle? Not everything. There's Cam Sutton,
sure.
There's other things, but it seems like 4 out of 5 things that we do hear about now seem to involve a vehicle.
All right, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience, but I think it can relate to a lot of athletes out there when they get their contracts. When I was growing up, I had a 79 Lincoln Continental, okay? Paid, I think, $1,600 for it. Got about 8 miles to the gallon. The brakes went out the first day I had it. A lot of issues, right? But it was my baby, it was my car, I was proud of it. Second car was an Eagle Talon that my dad gave me. That lasted about 2 months, and then that died. Thanks, Dad. Third car I got was like a Cadillac DeVille, like whatever, and I had that in college. And it was fine. It was actually a really good car, all things considered, but it was kind of like, it was nice padded seats, so like a grandma would drive it. But I loved that car. I think that car's still around. Needless to say, I didn't really have like the luxury cars growing up, okay? Didn't ride in the luxury cars growing up. When I signed my rookie signing bonus, and I brought that check with me through the airport, which I found in my pocket, and we've told this story before. I had a rookie signing bonus, pretty good amount of money. Because I had a personal mom and pop bank back home in Wisconsin. So I had to bring that check back home with me to Wisconsin in the airport. Dropped the check, found the check, thankfully. Then I cashed that check. First thing I bought was a new pair of shoes, new pair of Vans, obviously. Second thing I bought was my dream car. And that was a Cadillac Escalade EXT truck, and I put 26-inch rims on it. And you know the story. Went through Arby's the second day I had those rims. And ruined my rims. Shout out to the Arby's on Southside, the most trashiest drive-thru I've ever seen in my entire life. You get like Miss Deegan, because I've been to Arby's recently, not proud of it, but that drive-thru's still there with that curb. Miss Deegan, please do something about that.
Sure, that's on the top of our list.
I'm begging you anyway.
Right after the stadium deal's done.
What I'm trying to get to with my point, though, is that a lot of people will spend their money on cars.
Yeah.
All right? Now, sometimes it's trucks, sometimes it's whatever, but sometimes it's fast cars. And if you get I think it was a Lamborghini and a Corvette.
Lamborghini and, maybe it was Corvette.
Whatever the case may be.
Hopefully the new Corvette, because I kind of like the new Corvette.
Yeah, they're not too shabby. Nevertheless, when you get in that car, man, are you going to do the speed limit? No. And if you're a kid who just bought it, and I say kid, but, you're supposed to be a grown man, but you're still, in sense of just getting all this money, you're like a kid in a way. Are you going to just, go by the status quo? No, man, you're going to speed. And that's what the professional athletes, I think, when they get that big money, one of the first things they buy is cars.
Yeah, so that makes some sense to me. And here's the thing: when you're in a car, and there's already an untouchable factor, right, to a star athlete or even an athlete or whatever, or anybody has money, I would say, and maybe a lot of people that don't have money. There's always an untouchable thing. So maybe like in the car, that feels like your safe place. I just find it ironic, and I have no idea. I'm being as transparent as possible. I have no idea if the numbers prove this, but in my mind, I feel like two things are true. I feel like athletes don't get in trouble as much as they used to, even 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, but somewhat recent. And I also feel like when we are seeing things that athletes are getting in trouble with, and this isn't across the board, I know there are exceptions, it feels like they are involving vehicles. And so what you say makes sense. Yeah, they've got them. And by the way, there are many athletes that have like 7, 8, 9 cars and vehicle. Like that's one of their hobbies is to do that and to drive them. And these guys, it looks like they were racing in broad daylight, right? That was in daylight. That vehicle was taken. Yeah. And then people have video of them like just leaving the scene.
Well, and so the theory with that is the fact that, and once again, this is just what people are saying, that Rashee Rice might have been drunk and he left the scene because in case he got breathalyzed, he could get in trouble, drunk driving, things like that. So you leave the scene, you sober up, and then you come forward.
I don't know what the end game here is for him. I don't know what it means. The bottom line is, and there was an injury.
Thankfully, nobody was killed. First of all, thankfully, nobody's killed.
Well, I know, but that does change things a lot, really. I mean, there was injury. There's an arrest, maybe, but I don't know if it does anything for his football career. That's my point. I don't know if they're not going to release him. They're not going. I don't think.
Like, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to prove that it was his car, right? But they still have to prove that he was driving. But you got to think leaving the scene of an accident is more than just a slap on the wrist.
I would think so. I just don't know if it's like jail time.
Yeah.
And without jail time, like a vehicular incident, in my opinion, is probably, I mean, maybe there's a slight suspension or something, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a precedent for it. I don't know where it falls. So we're in between whatever. Like, I don't think we've seen too many of these kind of situations. But it's kind of a quiet time in the NFL before the draft, a little bit quiet, and before guys go back to the facilities. Final couple of weeks, really a vacation time, if you will. And this is the kind of news that happens like right now, if any news out of the NFL, and also like in late June and early July. It's either guys getting in trouble or you don't really hear of anything until you get back. And so, interestingly enough, with Rashee Rice, and listen, the Chiefs have overcome, or they've had adversity to deal with, from Andy Reid's son over a couple years ago to this now, to losing players just like a Tyreek Hill and like via trade or free agency. It's funny, they have not been squeaky clean as an organization, if you will, during this run.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just what it is. I don't know what that even means. I'm sure every team that's won a championship isn't always like the squeaky clean, everything's going right. But they've had to deal with some stuff, and this is the latest thing they have to deal with. So it will be interesting to see the severity of it and to see if it impacts their football team in the fall. But right now, I would say I can't imagine it does.
I mean, could we offer them maybe a Zay Jones, perhaps? A slightly used Zay Jones, maybe? Because, dude, what do you think Mahomes thinks about this?
Well,
dude needs a wide receiver.
Well, here's you can make the case that they already needed the receiver anyway, because they do. They probably do need some help. But does it impact the draft? And does that become another team looking for a wide receiver now in the draft?
I mean, draft is what, 4 weeks away, 3 weeks away? 4 weeks away, I think it is.
25th, 25 days away now.
Yeah, I mean, like, because we don't know what's going to happen with this. I'm sure there's going to be litigations and things like that, so it could take a while. So, yeah, I would say the first-round pick of the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be a wide receiver.
Always remember this. They know a lot more than we will know. They'll know how this thing's going to shake out, where it's headed, with their attorneys and everything else, is my guess. But just an interesting deal over the weekend that kind of throws you off, like, whoa, what is that? What's going on there? How does it impact their football team? Foye Lukin joined us on Friday, by the way. If you missed any of that, you can just go see it on YouTube. Action Sports Shacks from the Friday show. It was late in the show. It was good to catch up with him. Totally different situation. Him signing an extension. One thing I thought about this weekend, and I still really can't put my finger on it, is that extension and cleaning up some cap space and giving you a little bit more flexibility. I think it was just that. I think it was kind of I don't know if this was like an intentional, hey, we need to clear up space at this time. Let's get this deal done. I kind of now have come back to, well, they like the guy. Mm-hmm. He's got a year left. They're going to extend him. It's either now or in June or in September or by Labor Day, where I always say you get extended. They're just doing it now. I don't think there was we're doing this because of this from a cap standpoint. I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
It's hard to say.
I can't figure out what they're doing. Like signing Josh, that's fine. You can sign Josh. You could clear $24 million if you sign Josh. Signing Trevor, you don't necessarily have to put anything on the books. Making a trade, like this is what it does slightly open up. Like, are they really interested? Are we going to see some more smoke or whatever pop on an Ayuk or a Higgins?
Oh, Brent, there it is. Okay. There it is.
I say that just for you.
I know that was you. That was so you. Ayuk, I'm like, all right, maybe.
I say that for you.
I know you do.
I don't really think there's a lot of smoke on Higgins.
Yeah,
but there was smoke on Ayuk.
Of course you don't, because you don't want to see T. Higgins come here. You don't want me to literally come on the show every single day in my T. Higgins jersey.
I don't mind T. Higgins coming here.
I think you do. I think you had an issue with it. I think you want to see T. Higgins here, but I think you're afraid of the reaction that you're going to get from your co-host here every single day for the rest of the show's period, where I come in and just say, yep.
I still think it's debatable whether you want Ayuk or Higgins, but I think I do want Higgins. I think I would like Higgins from a body type standpoint.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that's all I can get to. I think this was just a natural move, whether they had $50 million of cap space or $5 million of cap space. Yeah. I think this move was going to happen. Does it provide you more flexibility for now, for later in April at the draft, for maybe even this summer or even in the fall? Yeah, absolutely. I get it. There's a benefit of that. But I think this was going to happen. The only thing I could link to this move at this time is probably a trade for a big-time wide receiver, where then you would have to, extend and put some dollars on. My guess is even if you extend Josh, if you were to sign a big deal for even a Trevor, or if you were to sign a big deal for a receiver once you traded for them, you're still going to put some money on the books now. Mm-hmm. You can't push everything down the road. So I guess this leaves all options open. It's the only thing I can get to.
Yeah. You said something in there that I wanted to quick bring up because it just sparked my memory here over this weekend. You said the big body wide receiver, T. Higgins. And I think we're from the same cloth where we think that, hey, anytime you can get a big bodied wide receiver, 6'3", 6'4", whatever the case may be, like that just looks different, right? That's what you want to see on the field. And the more that I see now of how this draft is shaking out with more experts, I think Adam Schefter, saying that Neighbors might indeed actually be the favorite to go now.
Several people, yeah.
And the whole thing is the big playability. You have a guy in Marvin Harrison who's 6'4", who's done everything he can to be the top overall wide receiver taken, and we've sang his praises all season. And now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I mean, that's good and everything, but have you seen the explosiveness? Have you seen the game, like the big playability of Neighbors? And now all of a sudden it's like people are going in that narrative. So I guess what I'm trying to say to you is, are we looking at this size thing a little too much now? Like, has the game shifted where everyone wants that Tyreek Hill type, where it's like you're a game breaker, doesn't matter how tall you are, if you can go down the field and get a 70-yard touchdown and you get the ball in space, you can make a big play, it doesn't even matter anymore? Because everything on paper to me, 6'4" Marvin Harrison, a blue chipper, should be the number one pick overall hands down, or the number one wide receiver taken overall hands down. And we're not at that point anymore.
Yeah, that's a good question. As you're saying that, I'm thinking, I'm like just going back and looking how tall everybody is, just for the sake of
I think Neighbors is like 6 feet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's the exact build of Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
He's like 6 feet or 6'1" and 201 pounds.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we all said, I think we said it last week during this, like, I thought Jamar Chase was bigger than that. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that's all he was. Not all, but I just thought he was bigger than that. But so now, if you think about the best receivers in the game.
So at the combine, Malik Neighbors weighed in at 200 pounds and was 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
there you go.
Same.
Yep.
Like his measurements are about the same as Jamar Chase. So now what I'm doing is I'm thinking, okay, give me the top receivers in the game right now. And to your point, Justin Jefferson, 6'1", 195.
Okay.
Not 6'4" guy, not 6'3" guy. Tyreek Hill. I put Tyreek in a totally different category.
That guy's by himself.
But Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase. I don't know how tall Devontae Adams is, but I don't think he's a 6'4" guy.
Devontae Adams, 6'1", 215.
Okay. Jamar Chase, 6 foot, 6'1", 200. Stephon Diggs. Shoot, he might be under 6 feet, or he's right at 6 feet.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown.
Okay.
What's he?
Oh, man, let me look it up quick.
I'll give you some time.
Yeah.
Putting you on the spot. Cooper Kupp, not tall guy.
A.J. Brown, 6'1".
Okay. C.D. Lamb.
C.D. Lamb can't be that tall, yeah.
Deebo Samuel, he's not a 6'4" guy. Now he's a
C.D. Lamb,
guy.
6'2", 200.
6'2", so that's the highest we can get.
Well, I mean, I'd say Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is still a great wide receiver.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He's like 11th on this
6'5".
list. I just looked like the best receivers in 23.
Okay, gotcha.
How about like a Waddle or McLaurin?
Yeah.
Those guys are not 6'4" guys, 6'3" guys.
Yeah.
So what this boils down to is maybe you're right. Maybe you're staying away from that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody that's classified as like a top 10 receiver with an outlier here or there, and the outlier is actually the small guy. That's Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. But almost everybody else fits in a box of 6 foot, 6'1", between 195 pounds and 210 pounds.
Yeah.
So, like, we're in Jacksonville. I think this is a great point. I didn't think about this. But to me, you're like, okay, what makes you different? You got Zay Jones. You got Christian Kirk. You had Calvin Ridley. You've got Gabe Davis. What makes you different? And we're thinking, okay, T. Higgins, 6'4", throw it up and get him. I remember the play down by the goal line. He threw it up and they got it, right? Like, that's the play you remember right now coming out of this past year for the Bengals. And really, the super athletic, super explosive, the 200-yard catching performance guys are the Justin Jeffersons, are the Jamar Chase, built 6'1" and 200 pounds. And you're right, Neighbors does fit into that more than Marvin Harrison's body, which would be an outlier amongst the top receivers in the game right now. And I don't know if that's overanalyzing it, but it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I just feel like, man, if you get that big-bodied guy who's actually can run routes, though, see, that's the rare thing, though, Brent. Like, how many 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys are there that can actually, like, run the route tree that are, like, I think like Calvin Johnson. Like, there's a reason why they call him Megatron. There's a reason why he's one of the best wide receivers of all time, because a guy who was 6'5", that fast, that strong, could run like he did, and also, had the route tree. Like, they don't make those on trees. So, like, that to me is almost like what Tyreek Hill is now. Just a unicorn. You're just different. They don't make you.
He's
like,
a unicorn.
You can try to replicate it. You can try to find it, but you're not going to find it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's easier to find a Justin Jefferson body type. It's easier to find a Jamar Chase body type.
Maybe that's it.
Okay. But once again, like, so now we're going to fault Marvin Harrison Jr. for being too tall?
Yeah, I don't think it's fault. I think what you just said, you could definitely have the outlier or the guy that's a unicorn. And maybe, but it's just really weird. Because, again, in my mind, I think this is more of like a subconscious thing. I would have thought all those guys, by the way, are like 6'2". I did this last week with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, to me, I thought he was a monster guy. I didn't think 6 feet's fine. But 6'1", like that's not standing above the crowd. I thought he was definitely a 6'3", 6'4" kind of guy in my mind, and he's just not. But he plays so much bigger than that. There's like this, I think he's so much broader. And so that broad nature, you're not going to get a 6'4" guy who's also very broad.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't know what Metcalf is in terms of his height, but you're not finding 6'4" and ripped receiver.
DK's 6'4".
Okay, so he's there's the unicorn, right?
Yep.
And DK is about as big a unicorn as you can get.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But he's the best receiver in the game that you would say is over 6 foot. No, him and Mike Evans are the best
Mike Evans
above 6'2".
Yeah.
You have two examples, Evans and Metcalf, and I think you can debate how good Metcalf is in relation to all those other guys that we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, someone said Cortland Sutton, but obviously you're not going to put Cortland Sutton on the same level right now, Mike Evans or even a DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
I think they're better.
He's a young guy, and he's a big body guy. Yeah, that's cool. So I think you can get him. I think it's not a detraction. But I do think right now the bucket we're putting everybody in, that's the best receivers in the game, are all between 6 foot, 6'1", and 195 and 210 pounds.
Okay, yeah, no, I feel you, man. And also I can say, well, Randy Moss, 6'4". Terrell Owens was pretty tall. How tall was Terrell Owens?
Was Owens a 6'4" guy?
Owens was tall, man. I don't think he's 6'4". We might have 6'3". Let me look it up. I remember he was taller.
I guess it's harder to find a receiver taller than you think. Calvin Johnson was a
T.O.
big
is 6'3".
guy. He's 6'3"?
T.O. 6'3".
Yeah. Interesting. Of course, these guys,
but it's just,
they play so much taller because they go up and get the ball, right? They're explosive. That's what you really ask. I would say, my guess is in buildings in the NFL, these guys are asking the question, are you explosive more than how tall you are?
But I mean, yeah, and for sure. And I agree with that. But also, you got to ask, like, hey, you're 6'3", 6'4", right? How are you in the red zone? Oh, I'm sorry, you're 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, go get the ball then.
Yeah,
go jump up and get it. It's a red zone target. I don't know, man. It's just, I find it baffling to me that the whole year, and I'm in this ballpark, it's Marvin Harrison. It's unequivocally Marvin Harrison. Guy's special. Big-bodied, can go get the ball, runs the route tree, all this stuff. It's all we heard all year. And now all of a sudden it's, oh man, the explosiveness of Neighbors. Okay.
Well, I think the reason, there's two things, and I don't know which one is true, but I know one thing they have in common. It's groupthink. I mean, groupthink for a long time had Marvin Harrison, and now groupthink has it flipping over to Neighbors. That's the draft cycle.
Yeah.
Right? That's the mock drafters. That's the experts way in advance saying Marvin Harrison, Marvin Harrison, Marvin Harrison. And now what we're getting is, okay, the Schefters of the world, the others of the world saying, wait a minute. The GMs, the scouts are saying, look out for this guy. He might be more impressive. That's where the tide's starting to turn a little bit. So now we're going to get groupthink because everybody's going to follow what the Schefters and everybody else is saying, which is fine. It's just part of the process. But I think it's pretty easy to see why that is happening. Here's the deal. I think they're probably both very good. And I think Adunze is very good. How tall is Adunze? I feel like he's one of those 6'1", 205, 210 guys.
I mean, everyone talks about how physical that dude is. Though.
Yeah.
I mean,
like he feels more Jamar Chase build, so that'd be 6'1", 210.
Oh, Adunze 6'3".
Oh, so he's a bigger guy too.
Bigger guy.
Okay. This is a good point right here. Glenn just brought up, and I actually was thinking of the same thing. Big body tight ends like Kelsey line up at wide receiver, so need for bigger wide receiver is lessened. I was thinking the exact same thing. That most of these guys now running that move tight end spot are lining up as wide receivers, and they're the high. Now, the difference there is they might be 6'5", even 6'6", but they're really not explosive. Like, Kelsey's not an explosive player vertically, right? He might be horizontally. Like, he can run with the football faster than people think, but he's not a vertically imposing.
No, for sure.
But he is 6'5", 6'6", and that kind of neutralizes that and helps. So I think that's a great point by Glenn there.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that too. But the Jags not necessarily like that. Like Evan Ingram's, what is Ingram? Is he like he a 6'4" guy, 6'5" guy?
If you're a tight end, you've
got to be 6'5", I guess.
Yeah, let's see what we got for Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is 6'3".
Yeah, see, he's a smaller. I thought, he's not.
Okay.
So because of that, if he's your tallest weapon, even with the tight end spot, well, you don't have a Waller, or you don't have a Kittle, or you don't have a Kelsey, or you don't have a, I don't even know how tall Dawson Knox is or something.
Kyle Pitts, 6'6".
Kyle Pitts, great example. Mm-hmm. Since you don't have that, does it make it important for the Jags to find some length in the draft, whether it's a Adunze at 6'3", whether it's Harrison at 6'4", or whether it's a T. Higgins over an Ayuk who's 6'1"? By the way, the Jags would be fine without it, but does it favor them to do something in the height category more than maybe another team?
I mean, you think that it would, Brent, but once again, I just think that what we think about height and how we felt about it is now changing, and you trade that in more for size. Like I get there's a Travis Kelce effect, right? Where, yeah, the Chiefs don't have maybe the tallest receivers, but Travis Kelce makes up for that. That's fine. I just think teams prefer explosiveness now, and you've seen that, right? You have Zay Jones and Gabe Davis. I mean, big playability is there. I just think teams gravitate towards that more than actually a big-bodied receiver.
Yeah, pretty interesting. That's a good conversation. See where the Jags end up in that regard. Let's take a time out here on the Brent Austen Show. We come back, we'll have more football talk, of course. I have a Florida Gator question for some of you Gator fans out there, and I really don't know the answer. But I think with what one guy is doing right now on the campus of the University of Florida, I think it begs the question. We'll talk about it when we come back. The Brent and Austen Show on a Monday morning. Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, and the Final Four is all set for Arizona in Phoenix coming up this weekend. In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jax team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
Navigating to that perfect car can be a daunting task. Trust me, I understand, but if you want to find the perfect blend of sales and service for your automotive needs, look no further than the Tom Bush family of dealerships.
Here at Tom Bush, they do things right. Dating back to 1970, they've been a staple in the community, giving back and keeping everything local. With 4 different brands to choose from, BMW, Mazda, Volkswagen, and Mini, there's a car for every member of the family, and the customer service is second to none. Looking to add an electric vehicle to your fleet? Tom Bush remains at the forefront of new technology with plenty of staff on hand to walk you through the future of driving and help eligible customers file for that EV tax credit.
Whether you're looking for your future driver's first car or you want to step up to luxury and arrive in style, the Tom Bush family of dealership is the only stop that you need to make.
Stop by the showroom or check out the inventory at tombush.com.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
It might look quiet, but that's just a chance to admire the facilities on the campus of the University of North Florida Ospreys. The stretch run has arrived in college sports, and for the Ospreys, that means the end of the beach volleyball season coming soon, and critical series for UNF softball and on the baseball diamond for the Ospreys team. Tennis is trying to peak in time for April's ASUN tourney as well. The postseason in golf is on the horizon, and track and field has its busiest stretch of the season. For news, schedules, and results, just go to UNFOspreys.com.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability.
Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part? They did it in one day.
It was a professional process from step one. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, back at it on a Monday, April Fool's Day. Will you be fooled? There's plenty out there, but people really like taking advantage of this day. If I'm a big organization, I'm a little surprised many people are doing it because, I guess it's engagement. But also don't.
But everyone's hip to the game now.
Yeah, I think it has run its course. For
the most part. If someone died, hopefully nobody, no, I know dies today. But if a friend dies, sorry, man, I'll get you tomorrow because I'm not going to buy in it today.
Was April Fool's like a big deal as a kid?
Oh, you, Brent, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pulling pranks and everything. Come on now.
Yeah, I remember it actually. When I think of April Fool's Day, first off, shout out to Steph's dad. It's her birthday. His birthday.
Is it Gabe Davis' birthday today too, or is that 90. April Fool's?
I don't know.
Because the Jags just put out "Happy Birthday, Gabe Davis." If that's that's the joke. Cool.
Is that the joke? Because like the last birthday they put out, somebody got cut.
Oh, hold on. Okay, Brent. I see you deep diving here.
Not the last one, but they've been wishing people birthday for a while now.
No.
Who was it that they
Gabe
gave
Davis'
birthday?
Gabe Davis' birthday is April 1st, 1999.
Yeah. Who was it? Hamby, do you remember? Didn't they say happy birthday and then they were cut like an hour later?
Yeah, that was Foley.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Foley.
Hey, Brent.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Well, I know. It's just I needed a reminder. I knew it happened, but
yeah.
So, but this is really his birthday.
Yeah, I just confirmed with Google. It is indeed Gabe Davis' birthday today.
Just confirmed with Wikipedia.
Yeah. Hey, you got to check your facts. You got to check your sources, everybody.
Anyway, so
it's the first rule of journalism.
So a shout out to Steph's dad for 90th birthday today. Is on April 1st. How about that?
Nice.
And but I remember April Fools because of like my grandfather when we were kids.
Yeah.
He would do the whole thing where he would like drop something off in the morning.
Yeah.
And you'd have to pile through like it'd be like a box inside a box inside a box inside a box, and it'd be like a piece of gum.
Yeah.
By the time you got to the end of it, I was like, as I got older, I was like, man, that dude put in a lot of work.
Yep. Hammy, can you bring back the Gabe Davis picture back up quick, please? Yep. Just want to see that quick. So now, is he filming a rep? Is this like a rep album cover? Just put a little parental advisory sticker on the top left or the bottom left corner.
Does feel like it.
What's up, man?
It does feel like it.
Yeah. Mean mugging. All right.
I saw there were a couple of them. One was like a high school thing out of Texas, or like we're going to play the school in Alaska that actually like the Bartram Trail folks helped build a field up in Alaska. I forget the name now, but it's like the northernmost point we're going to play. I was like, okay, that's kind of goofy. Like, I'm not sure if you'd be fooled by that if you're part of the Texas high school community.
Yeah.
There was, I think, FAU and USF kind of got together on a tweet that said they were going to play on a naval ship in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
This year. That didn't happen. But I don't know. I just think I think it's kind of run its course on social media.
You got to do it in real life, man.
Get off my lawn.
No, you don't have to do it in real life to a friend or something. You can't just do it on social media. Like you have to like put effort. Like, what's the biggest prank you ever pulled?
Oh gosh,
Hamby, Kids Corner. Feel free to chime in too.
Yeah, I don't think I have any good ones.
Not much of a
Boring,
prankster.
Huh? Okay.
We had some good pranks. Like there are good like baseball team pranks where Chad Lavender, he would light the guy's cleats shoestrings on fire.
Yep. Okay. yeah, that's not bad.
Those are fun.
Yeah. We once had a guy put like Theragizic or like Icy Hot in the cup.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Come on.
Wait, you got a good one?
I have so many of them. I've told a bunch of them on the show before, but I have a couple of them. Yeah. Dragging the dead deer, putting it on someone's door, and then they open the door, the deer falls in their kitchen. We did that one. Once convinced an ex-girlfriend got in a serious car accident and recorded her running away from the facility where she worked at. So we did that one. Once convinced a teammate that he had an illegitimate child and wrote a letter with a picture of just a random kid that we. It was okay. This is a good one. I don't think I told this story before. So in college, we one of my teammates had like a little cousin of a picture of him like in his room, right? So like, all right, well, let's do something with this picture. So it was a picture of this kid, and we put it in an envelope with a letter saying, "Hey, I went through like the AD. I got a hold of your information, your address, and everything. We met at spring break because we said like where he was at spring break and everything. So like we can't. Okay, so we faked the letter, said we met at spring break, yada yada yada. This kid is yours. Put it in an envelope, put it in the mailbox, and here's the best part about it. So like we put it in there for April Fools. Well, he didn't check his mail that day. So he didn't get the mail until like April 2nd. So it was even better then because now April Fool's is gone and he has no idea. So it's not even on his radar. Gets the envelope, thinks he has a kid, and that was pretty funny for our reactions.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some good ones around the way, but I just feel like it loses. I feel like it's more of a kid's game.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if the kids are hip to the game this day. I feel like it's like one of those things that's gone away.
Playing the pranks. Well, here's the thing, too. I feel like pranks, and this is definitely the kids' corner can get involved in this. I feel like every TikTok prank or like TikTok video, it's all scripted. So like it's not even genuine anymore.
Yeah.
Hammy, you confirm that?
I don't have a TikTok.
He's too young in the kids' corner.
What are we doing?
Well, I also think
the kids' corner then, Brent?
I think there's no in between. You're either, like you're saying, you're scripted, but the kids also would go to sometimes levels too far that then get them in trouble.
Yeah.
With pranks or something.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Oh, yeah.
And there's so much attention on that, from whether it's hazing to other things, that you've got to be, where does it cross the line? Where does it go? I don't know if it makes kids reluctant to do it, or I just think we don't think it's very funny because it crosses the line.
Oh, no, I've crossed it. Like, listen, no one got hurt. Nobody got, this didn't affect anybody, but there was a prank that I pulled one time. Mom, go ahead and put your earmuffs on. That was in the police reports, but I never got found out about. And I'm not going to tell you what that prank was just because I could probably still get in trouble for this, but I'm just saying I made the police reports. And you know what the best part about this story is? And once again, Mom, earmuff it. She read out the police report of what happening, and I'm like, hey, and then I go, oh, wow, that's crazy. And then I just kind of selling it a little bit, like, oh, what, that happened? You can do that? Oh, and then I just go back to my room. Oh my God. It was me.
It was me.
Me and some friends. Yeah.
Man,
I'll tell you during the break.
I was going to say, I kind of wish I knew you when you were a kid.
I don't want to know myself when I was a kid, man. You don't want to know me. No, you don't want to know me.
How much does your mom learn about you on this show?
A lot. A lot, Brent. Yeah, and keep in mind, I talk to her every single day, too.
Yeah.
But a lot.
Yeah. Well, you'll be getting a phone call this afternoon.
I'm sure I will. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, real quick, Hamby. Baseball weekend. Who's the most impressive team? The Brewers.
The Yankees.
Beat the Mets.
The Yankees?
They went 4-0 against the Astros, man. You got to give them some credit.
Yeah, not only that, they did that like most comeback wins, like late inning game stuff, and Soto proved to be very good for him.
I mean, I couldn't snip the all of the unbelievable amount of praise he got for that throw to. I mean, that was literally a 120-foot throw that he noodle-armed in. That was really kind of got on my nerves.
Noodle-armed in.
I love the Yankee hate.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, a phenomenal player. The Brewers deserve some credit.
Some.
They deserve
That's
credit.
an earthquake.
Some?
I think they deserve more than some.
Sorry, man. I shut the camera a little bit. Some credit.
But we got to remember who was against. That team that I hate to reuse a joke, but the team that you beat has already been eliminated from the playoffs.
Fair.
I mean, struggle.
Listen, I talked a lot of smack about them when we picked our teams. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 4-0 right now, everybody. In case you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
In case you guys weren't paying attention.
Goodness
But still, I mean, it's the Pittsburgh Pirates.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, the Marlins, they got to get things going here.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't ever want to overreact from one series, but you get four games swept by the Pirates, and
Well, and here's a couple other things really like that. I was actually pretty impressed with the way the Red Sox played out in Seattle, and they probably should have won the extra inning game. They blew that. They're up 3-1. So that's good. I think, the Braves do what you expect them to do. They're not going to win every game. I think the Reds, if you look at how exciting they are to play, seriously, they are really exciting to watch. Now, they also blew games in their bullpen, and I think their bullpen's going to be pretty weak.
Yeah.
They're especially setting up the late game stuff, and that's where they lost the games. So, and the Dodgers end up now winning 3 out of 4, but it wasn't an easy 3 out of 4 now against the Cardinals. And Mookie Betts is off to an unbelievable start. And, don't sleep on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are 3-1. The team that nobody wants to give any credit to for going to the World Series last year.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
They are 3-1. And
I also want to shout out one particular ball club, the Oakland A's. The Jumbo Shrimp deserve all the credit in the world. They doubled the A's attendance every game this weekend.
Yeah, well, so did I think I saw the AAA affiliate of Oakland in Vegas.
It's unbelievable. Austin, they got 3,000 people there.
I didn't know this.
At opening
I mean,
day.
they're moving the team, right?
Well, yeah, they're moving. But what's interesting about this, I hadn't paid too much attention to it. They need a place to play for the next 4 years until they build the stadium. The stadium isn't going to be ready, I think, until 2028. And so they're actually currently working on a lease with Oakland. Just made a proposal to keep them there for 3 years. But they're also talking about going to either Salt Lake City or Sacramento in the meantime.
It's 3,000 people, but put them at a YMCA. Who cares?
I know.
No one's coming to watch you.
It's
3,000 people?
Well, it's 3,800. That was how they announced tickets distributed now?
So it wasn't even that many.
No.
Wow.
And so, Steph said, we're working on it because we're going to California in June. We're going to go to all the ballparks.
Yeah.
And Steph said to me on Friday night, she's like, hey, we got to work on getting tickets. I was like,
work?
Steph, there's going to be 6 people at the Oakland game, and we're going to be
just
4.
asked that they're probably going to pay you to go to that game and to build up some stands a little bit. You think they're going to start putting, remember with COVID, you could buy your cutout?
Yes, buy your cutout. That'd be a great idea.
Let's buy the ESPN 690. Oh, dude! My bad, sorry.
Hey,
let's buy the Action Sports Jacks cutout. Well, it was the cutout. I said the cutout, but let's buy the Action Sports Jacks, Brent Austen cutouts. Wow. Hit the dump button that we don't have.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
Yeah, we need one.
He needs one after that.
Yep.
Austin, go grab Brent's cutout.
Yeah. There you go.
By the way,
I bring that in my suitcase.
Do you remember when I said that I threw mine out? I lied. I still have it. I found it in the garage.
You found it.
I'm going to bring it in.
You didn't even know you...
I thought mentally I threw it out a long time ago. Yeah.
This is going to be a slow zoom if you're going to zoom into my cutout.
Let's see it pull this off.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to focus the camera.
We're taking an eye test? What are we doing here?
I'm good.
All right.
I got to take one of those tomorrow, in fact. We will take a break. We'll come back. All right, seriously, Florida Gator question. Here's the question I have. Jack Caglione, I know you don't pay attention to college baseball. I think, Hamby, you might a little bit.
Yep.
But Jack Caglione's one of the best players. He's basically Ohtani. He's a pitcher. He's their best pitcher. He's the best hitter. He's got 13 home runs. He's not the only guy that's ripping it up. There are a couple of players dominating college baseball. But it got me thinking, is Caglione seriously one of the best players to ever wear a Gator uniform in any sport?
Uh-oh.
And I'm not saying the best. I'm not saying how high on the list is it. I mean, just baseball alone, the Gators have had an unbelievable amount of good baseball players. And I feel like there's nobody that's been this dominant, or is it recency bias? And just a quick conversation about that. Noon hour coming up next. We take you until 1 o'clock here at the Brent Austen Show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Again, get the app, Action News Jacks app. We are right there on the front page, actionnewsjacks.com. Boom, right there. You can find us each and every day. The show replays throughout the day, especially 3 to 6 p.m. And we have more content coming up, including Wednesday's No Gate Fees, Cup Date, and a week with Action Sports Jacks that immediately follows this show from 1 to 3 p.m. I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnik Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnik Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnik Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnikbuickgmc.com. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
Get outside.
Yeah.
Make friends.
Yeah.
Learn life lessons with the First Tee.
Golf is kind of like life in a way.
You can take some stuff you learn on the course and take that and use it in every single day life.
Donate to First Tee's Play Day campaign and everybody wins.
For every $10 you've donated, you're entered to win a free round with a buddy at the stadium course, home of the players, with this guy, Len Matisse.
Scan the code on your screen or visit actionnewsjax.com to learn more.
Stop by the new car sales event happening right now at Greenway Kia at the Avenues. $500 in a job gets you in a Kia, and Michael Montiero and the staff here at Greenway Kia are here to make it happen. Experience great customer service and become a part of their family. And while you're here, check out the Kia Forte GT line, full of comfort, innovation, and has driver assist technology. And how about the affordable new Kia EV9, the fast-charging, all-new electrical SUV with high-performance capability, 3-row seats with 304 miles of maximum driving range. Over 1,000 new Kia models, some starting at $199 a month. And as always, get the 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Come shop at Greenway Kia at the Avenues, located on Phillips Highway. You can shop online at greenwaykiaattheavenues.com. And remember, $500 and a job gets you in a Kia at Greenway Kia at the Avenues.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Discover how good your water can be with the new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We know that at our home. You can find out as well. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? Well, CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions to improve it. The higher your water score, the better your water. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242, cgcwater.com. Financing options are available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, there's a look at the facilities at the University of North Florida. Nick Morrow will join us tomorrow. They have their giving day at the University of North Florida. Help with things like the facilities and scholarships for the athletic department. Beach volleyball season wrapping up. I think they're done with all their home matches just over the weekend. But softball, baseball, track and field, tennis. There's our man, Corey Levine. He does a great job over there. At baseball, I went over there yesterday, saw him. I was really just walking over there and saw him. That baseball field is in fantastic shape right now for the Ospreys. Brent Martineau along with Austen Lane and Jason Hamby. The Brent and Austen Show. Noon hour we go. We take you until 1 o'clock each and every day, Monday through Friday, on the new Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Again, you can find that on the Action News Jacks app and also actionnewsjacks.com, along with all the social media channels. And big thanks to you. Fantastic numbers so far in the early going of everything we are doing, which we anticipated and expected. And we're only going to grow with some more content. One thing I like to tell everybody, it's not just our show on this new network. We've added some other shows, including No Gate Fees and Cup Date and some other things that we're going to keep adding and more programming that will be exclusive to just the network side of things that you can find streaming on actionnewsjacks.com and the Action News Jacks app. All right, something crossed my mind this weekend. I'm not a Gator by any means, and I know you're not, Hamby, and I know you're not, Austin.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm probably getting a lot of Florida Gator talk here.
I'm all set.
But Jack Caglione is a baseball player for the Florida Gators, and he's a very good one. I mean, you basically call him the college baseball's version of Ohtani. He pitches. He's their number one guy. He goes on Sundays usually, third game of a series, and he's their best hitter. And I think people saw him in Jacksonville last week. Again, if you know who he is. He's a beast, and he's really, really good. And even with all the hype, he hasn't slowed down. He's got 13 homers. He hit a walk-off home run yesterday. He's just a dangerous guy to pitch to. Charlie Condon up in Georgia, up in Athens, he's the same kind of guy. I mean, this guy's putting up slow-pitch softball numbers. I don't understand how these guys are putting up these kind of numbers in the sport of baseball. Like, pitching must be really bad, and these guys are good. Now, listen, I don't want to take anything away from him, but you shouldn't be hitting, like, 500 with 19 homers, and your on-base percentage is .703 in the sport of baseball, unless you're, like, playing off a tee.
Yeah, I think he's hitting actually 550 something with 19. It leads D1 in average homers, slugging, and on base percentage.
It's unbelievable, really. It's unbelievable. I get it. Sometimes you have really good years, but we're I don't know how far even in now. But what are we, like 30 games into the season, almost halfway through, and a guy's still hitting that? He's got 19 homers. Cags has 13 homers, and his numbers are crazy. But it got me thinking this from a Florida standpoint. If you think Florida athletes, and I asked Mark Long this, I was like, is it a crazy question? Because he covers the Gators, and I was thinking of even getting him on, but it's a crazy question to ask if this kid already is one of the best to ever wear the uniform at the University of Florida. And I don't think many people will go to baseball players when you think like that. Obviously, our mind goes to Tim Tebow, right, in football. And he actually joked, he's like, well, a guy like Emmitt Smith and Jack Youngblood and Wilbur Marshall actually wore the uniform. I was like, oh, yeah, I've heard of those guys. Yeah, they've had a long list of players.
Yeah.
But I do think this kid already, and I shouldn't say already, he's been there for a bit, but I think he's like in that conversation. I don't know how he wouldn't be. He's one of the most dominant players in the sport.
Well, so here's the thing with that, right? Like, you can say Emmitt Smith, obviously, but like, I always think when you say, give me the best college athlete of all time or give me the best college athlete from a program, we always associate their pro careers with that.
We do.
Right? It's hard to separate the college to the professional level. If you're just going basically off of college stats, like, listen, I don't know this guy really, and I don't follow college baseball that well, but what Hamby was saying in terms of stats and everything, that's very dominant. So, and he's pitching as well, you said?
And he pitches too. Like, that's the separator, right?
Yeah.
He's their number one pitcher.
And so yeah,
I would say he's the best player in the country.
Okay.
Or I would say, based on the fact that he's pitching and hitting.
So yeah, if you're saying one of the best to ever put on the uniform in terms of collegiate, yeah, because I'm not going to, regardless of what happens with this guy in MLB, should not matter. It's what he's doing in that uniform. Okay, yeah, he's doing an amazing thing in that uniform.
What do you think about? I mean, you're a young guy. You're not a Gator fan, Hamby, but we're talking. Is he already like in that?
I mean, if he was a Georgia Bulldog, we'd be celebrating every single day.
Well, I don't know. Are they saying that about a guy like Condon? Like, is he one of the best?
Condon's definitely one of the best Georgia. I mean, he's probably top 10 already. I mean, we have guys like, Alex Wood and Gordon Beckham, Chris Carpenter. But bats-wise, he's probably right there. Cags is tough because there's been so many guys out of Florida. I mean, even in the last couple of years, and again, I don't know exactly what the college careers for these guys like, but I mean, Pete Alonso, and there's so many of them from Florida that have already had amazing professional careers that you don't really know where he'd stack up, and the list is literally 40 people long. There's probably 30 Florida Gators in professional baseball right now, not necessarily just Major League Baseball, but professional ranks. There's probably 30 of them still playing.
Called him Kegs like he coached him in Little League.
Brent did it.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's
Sorry.
what he goes by. Yeah.
Oh, is that what he goes by? Okay, Kegs.
I feel like we all know him.
Yeah. Well, I'm just learning him now, but yeah, for sure. Sorry, Ham, hit me to call you. I was paying attention to Brent.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. You're right. By the way, the list is so long. I'm trying to find a list here of somebody that might have the top-ranked Florida Gator baseball players of all time.
Darren O'Day.
Okay,
Zunino.
Yeah, like I think he would already pass all these guys.
I mean, I have to pull up their stats in college.
I mean, Al Rosen goes back to 1947. Mike Stanley, Darren O'Day. And listen, Darren O'Day from Bishop Kenny, and Darren O'Day is a great story, but this guy's past O'Day.
Yeah.
If this is I'm just looking at one list, by the way. Pete Alonso, obviously a great pro, but he's doing things that Alonso didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
once again, you take the pro bias out of it.
That's the thing. My point is, he's already at the top of the list of baseball. Nobody's done what he's done. I think, again, I'm not this heavy Gator guy, so you folks that love it and are listening to it or talk about it, maybe you got a different perspective, but I don't know how he wouldn't be at the top already of baseball. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not even a question to me. The question becomes, think about all the great basketball players. They've had great track and field, great golfers, great football obviously comes to mind. Yeah. And I'm not trying to tell you that he's better than this guy or this, but he's in the conversation is my point. Like, that's what we're seeing. I think sometimes we have recency bias in sports, and then I think sometimes we aren't willing to admit that a guy's doing stuff that nobody else has done, and he's already, boom, right into that category. This isn't just a one-year thing either now. Now we've got a sample size that's bigger. And so, yeah, I think when you look up 25 years from now and you take collegiate careers, because I think this is an important point. I have no idea what Jack Caglianone's going to do in the big leagues or in pro baseball. That's a different animal now. It's a different beast.
Same thing with Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow didn't really do a lot in the NFL.
But I think we all can sit here and say we know Tim Tebow is one of the great college football players of all time.
Correct.
Right? And I don't think people debate that, even though his NFL career didn't work out to be as good as others. Emmitt Smith can say both. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's an unusual cat that can say both. But I do think when we look up 25 years from now, I think if you're doing a list or if you're a big Gator fan and you look at the landscape of Gator sports over its entirety, this guy's name is going to be right there. Like, that's what really the point of the conversation is. It's that good is what he's doing. It's pretty dominant. And I just do find it fascinating that college baseball is being dominated by a couple of guys. Baseball's a hard sport to dominate. I mean, college basketball, like Zach Edey can dominate college basketball.
Correct.
He's 7'4". He's a different animal. How do you defend it, right? Football can be dominated at the collegiate level. And we've seen a bunch from Joe Burrow to Jaden Daniels recently to guys that didn't pan out in the
Johnny
NFL,
Football.
like you said, Johnny Football and Tim Tebow. Baseball's a really hard sport to dominate, and especially on both ends of it. One on the mound and one at the plate. And now Condon for Georgia is doing it just at the plate. Mm-hmm. But it's so damn impressive what he's doing at the plate. It's better than, what's his name, was Tommy White, who got all the attention. Like, White wasn't doing this last year. Right? For LSU, he was a monster.
Yeah.
But he wasn't doing this. Now, White, when he was at NC State, I think got off to a hell of a start from a home run standpoint. But I don't think he had this.
Right.
19 homers through this early part of the game. What it shows me is the pitching is way down because of what these guys are doing at the plate. The pitching's not even close to what it's been. But we are seeing a couple guys just dominate the sport. I think it's kind of fascinating in college athletics when that happens.
Speaking about dominating the sport, Scotty Scheffler finished second at the Texas Children's Houston Open.
That's right.
That's how much I'm struggling here. I have to revert back to golf to try to say something I actually know what's going on. Because you said, I don't know, 25 college baseball names I've never heard of before. I heard Pete Alonso. I'm like, okay, my ear, and then we go back to whatever.
I know,
that's cool.
All right.
No, it's all good, man.
I like that you brought up golf, though. That's very good.
I was kind of kidding, but
it's
yeah.
a good time to bring up the Action Sports Jax Dream 18 card. You can go to actionsportsjaxdream18.com just in time for the Masters. And you can get discounted golf in the area.
Yeah, hey, here's no joke. The Dream 18 card. Get it now.
There it is. Look, we even got it right here.
Yeah.
Next to Access Golf.
Don't be a fool. Get one right now.
Don't be a fool.
That's why I said it's not a joke. Yeah, you see?
Put
him front and center. Nice handy.
Sorry, I should have kept that up there a little bit longer. The Scotty Scheffler actually was interesting.
Oh, come on, man. I was just kidding. All right, what happened?
Well, just one small thing. I think it actually, I would have picked against him winning the Masters.
Okay.
If he had won he would have had to win 4 tournaments in a row. Because he had won, Bay Hill won the Players. And then if he had won this one, there would have been his 3rd straight one winning that he had entered. Yeah. And then the Masters would be next. I mean, it'd be almost just based off a trend, it would be almost impossible. But he missed like a 6-foot putt, didn't win. Now I think that actually alleviates some of that conversation. But man, is he a dominant player right now?
Did he swear anything and throw his club when he missed it?
I don't think he did, because he probably took home about $1 million.
Man,
he took $1 million check home probably. Like, why'd you swear?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. Listen, I get people want to win, but the money in sports is so crazy. How much do you think it damages the psyche of your competitive spirit?
The money? Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to get over? Like, seriously, put yourself in Scotty Scheffler's shoes. And I understand. He's a competitor, and these guys compete at different. When you're in that, I always say this about like a 1% athlete.
Sure.
I think you compete differently. We can't get on that level. You can think you get mad when you lose at Monopoly, or you're mad at your golf game, or you're mad when you lose the Sudoku puzzle.
Pac-Man.
You think you're Pac-Man, punch the game. Like, you think you're competitive. But these guys are different level competitive, and I respect that, and I truly believe that. But at the same time, when you have won and done what Scotty Scheffler's done for the last couple of years, and when you are number one, and that's not changing whether you win or lose this weekend, and when you're still getting $1.2 million or whatever it is, it's got to be easier to swallow.
It comes down to the money.
Nature, man.
No, for sure. I go and ask Calvin Ridley that. Just saying. Went to Titans for a couple more bucks, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. I think it's a little different scenario.
Well, no, I mean, the money makes the decision easier, though, is what we're getting at.
Yeah, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You're going to fight. You got a big fight coming up.
Correct.
April 27th in Vegas.
Yes.
Now, the money in UFC is not insane.
No.
Right?
Not where I'm sitting, no.
No. I mean, even for some guys. But,
well, no, I mean, for Conor McGregor, yeah, you're doing
but
pretty
overall, it's not for
It's not
most.
crazy. Yes.
So, but let me just say this. If you were to...
Oh, Hamby.
Oh, there you go. I like it.
Like that.
If you were to... If the purse for this fight was $2 million for the winner and $1 million for the loser.
Okay. I thought you were going to get at me taking a dive. So, okay, I'm glad we're not onto that point. Go ahead.
No, I'm not diving.
I thought we were talking about like a Jake Paul dive. Okay.
I believe, knowing you, that the win would matter way more than the money anyway.
Correct. Well, have you seen my shoes, Brent? Yeah, I don't care about money, as you can tell, or anything. Yeah.
But if you genuinely ask yourself, it was that kind of money for second place.
Yes.
Would it soften the blow of losing?
So you're saying $2 million to $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Would it soften the blow? Yeah. I mean, it would definitely. It's crazy. It's actually a really good point. A lot of pro boxers think like this. Ryan Garcia, who's a promising boxer, going to fight in a couple weeks, fought Tank Davis, got knocked out by Tank Davis. His first loss in his record. Set him back a little bit. But, like, you got the feeling that even after the fight, they're shaking hands backstage and everything. Like, he was happy because the guy just made, like, life-changing money. I don't want to, like, call it Ryan Garcia because, like, dude, you made a lot of money. Congratulations. I'm not necessarily like that, though. Like, I've never, like, every loss that I've had, I've never reached out to my opponent after and said, well, I still made some good money. Like, no, man, like, forget you. Like, I'm not, okay, I want this to come out across the right way. I'm doing this because it helps me take care of my family, yes, but it's not all about the money. Now, once again, Brent, what do I always say? It's what the money says. So am I trying to make as much money as possible? Well, yes, because that will justify me being a great fighter. But if you're going to ask, if I fought for $2 million, I lose, I get $1 million, would it soften the blow? It would make me financially secure, which I would appreciate, but it wouldn't soften the blow. I would still be pissed off.
Yeah. And the reason why I think it actually is a little bit, it's probably not Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler's got so much money. That even $1 million, like 1.2, it's like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't even know what went in my bank account. You know what I mean? Seriously, it might be.
No, it's made a lot of money.
But for this, like, you make to the UFC, that's a huge deal. You get 4 fights in the UFC at the very least.
Yeah.
But then if they were to actually throw those kind of dollars, you're right. Like, you're changing people's lives. I mean, $1 million would change your life.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean,
or a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. No, and let's call a spade here. If I win, I get my full purse. If I lose, I get half of it. Simple as that.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Okay.
You get half your money.
So you are, in a sense. I know, like, maybe not you specifically, and I even think the money. I think the win matters to most fighters more than the money at this level because of what you guys have put yourself through, how you've trained, everything else. But
because that win could make you a lot more money than even that check can.
That check can. But the bottom line is there's still a money motivation here.
Has to be.
Why not?
Oh, of course. I mean, listen, it's one thing to do it because, like, it's a dream and that's great and everything, but at the same time, like, we're all adults here. We have to pay bills, right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, money does mean something as well.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a...
Do you know how much Nintendo Switch DLCs cost these days that my son's bringing to the table? Do you know how much the new Demon Slayer DLC costs?
Yeah.
We're talking $15 for some skins, Brent. Just new uniforms for the Demon Slayer core. They're not giving those away.
This is why that girl left and that Three Forks dinner. I mean, that was it.
I could have been rolling it. I could have been in Oprah's guest house, just chilling, man, watching this show, just doing whatever you guys do. I'm just in my feet up and everything.
I was a little disappointed Gayle King didn't reach back out and tell us what that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Doing.
You think Gayle King is going to respond to us?
I mean, come on, Gayle. I mean,
what do you mean? Come on, Gayle.
What's she doing on Saturday?
Dude, she's interviewing like presidents. You think she has time for Brent and Austin talking about Calvin Ridley and Josh Allen every day?
That's a lot of flight time. I mean,
give me a break, dude.
We tagged her. She didn't have to go find it.
No, I understand, but I think and listen, I respect what you bring to the table, but you have too much of a higher opinion of who I am and who you are. There's us down here, and then there's Gayle King up here.
I get it.
We're not even the same stratosphere.
Obviously.
Hamby, you too. Sorry, man. It could be a tough truth for you, but we're not on Gayle King's level.
That's pretty apparent. Let's take a break and try to pay our bills so we can, pay for those $15 skins.
The audacity of you to think that Gayle King would respond to us.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really banking on it.
I can call her. I got a number. Should we give her a call during the break? Gayle King might come on the show next. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be good teaser. Overpromise, underdeliver.
There we go.
Coming up next on the Brent and Austin Show. On a Monday. We take a break. We'll be back on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network right after this. It's a new logo, new branding, but with Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. And with that comes the perks we miss in the big business world. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. The folks at Bold City Heating and Air also know your AC unit is important and can be a big expense. That's why they have financing to help. No payments, no interest for 12 months on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown. Bold City Heating and Air.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability.
Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part, they did it in one day.
It was a professional process from step one. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jacks team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
When strong storms threaten and your safety is on the line, nothing beats accuracy. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish and the First Alert Weather Team. Your safest place to be during a storm is Action News Jacks.
I'm Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber. Please join me and the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation in Northeast Florida for our annual Take Steps Walk, right here at Memorial Park on April 13th. The event is dedicated to finding cures and raising awareness for digestive diseases. Join us by registering now at actionnewsjacks.com.
Alive Credit Union cares about our community. After all, it was founded by people in our community 70 years ago by a group of Florida Blue employees. And the mission still is to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. In here, they are more than just a bank. You can find Alive in the community, providing financial education to our youth, sharing programs that are geared toward building credit and rebuilding credit, and supporting causes with amazing organizations like the American Lung Association. In March, Alive Credit Union was back for the 6th time as a sponsor of the American Lung Association's Fight for Air Climb. The event was over the weekend downtown. It was a good turnout with everyone taking steps for a good cause. And Action News Jax' Garrett Biedenbaugh emceed it. Be a part of our community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Thank you for making Action News Jacks the best in Jacks and Folio's Best of Jacks 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jacks local coverage you can count on. Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
You see, LeBron James basically said he's closer and closer to retirement. Thanks for the breaking news. Did we really need that?
Those knees get a little more sore every single game. I get it.
Yeah.
Still playing high level, though, Brent. He's playing well.
Yeah.
Lakers are on the doorstep again.
It is amazing what these guys do now at such an old age, and by sports age. Mm-hmm. And so he was asked, how much longer does he plan to play? He said, not very long. Not very long. I'm on the other side, obviously, of the hill, so I'm not going to play another 21 years. That's for damn sure, but not very long. I don't know what or when that door will close as far as when I retire, but I don't have much time left, which is a pretty honest assessment.
Sure.
He can have as much time as he wants, just a matter of how much he wants to handle. We are going to talk a ton about the draft, obviously, over the next month. We got 25 days to the draft, so a countdown is on for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we've already talked a lot about the draft. I think the table has been set for the Jacksonville Jaguars for the draft. What they did in free agency, what they did with removing some players from their roster and moving on from some players, what they did with Ryan Nielsen. So, like, the table's set, but I don't know who's going to sit at 17. You know? Like, I really don't. I feel like there's as much ambiguity with this pick as there has been in a long time. Now, I want to be truthful with everybody. I did not think the Jags were going offensive line last year. I know people were talking about it, and I was like, that makes no sense to me. But they did. Well, do you remember how you felt going in?
Okay, I'm trying to think how it went down, right? So Cam was out the first 4.
Yes.
And then you had Walker Little. So you essentially went into that season thinking, all right, Cam sits, whatever, find a replacement for 4 games. It'll be Walker Little and Cam Robinson, correct? That was what you thought? Yeah, I was kind of on that same principle as well. Yes.
Well, because here's the deal. Like, everybody did, we knew he was suspended, but that's a stupid reason to draft somebody at a position. He was going to be back. I mean, that's a very narrow-sighted waste of a first-round pick if you're just saying we got to cover up 4 games.
Correct.
But there was more to it, obviously. There was depth. Now you have a right tackle. Maybe it showcased that they weren't confident enough in Walker Little being their right tackle. Depth at that spot always frees you up. Maybe they were pissed off at Cam at the time.
Trying to make a point.
Enough to be like, we're moving on from you after this year, so now we have our future. Like, how much do you think of that was in it? Given the comments of Doug Peterson at the Combine, given the fact that he was suspended, given the hindsight nature of drafting a right tackle, how much of a surprise is it that Cam Robinson is still on the roster?
I'm a little surprised because I think we all thought that, at least I thought, that Anton Harrison was going to be Cam Robinson's replacement because I thought Walker Little was going to fill in wherever. You know, I assuming probably left tackle, put Anton at the right tackle, and then there you go. You're off to the races. And I think that was going to be the plan, but then Cam Robinson comes back, and it's like, okay, well, do we still need him? I mean, I think it's very telling, Brent, from the standpoint of you could get trade value for Cam Robinson right now.
Absolutely.
Now, it may not be like where you drafted him.
No.
But you could still get, like, we're talking better than a 6th-round pick, which seems to be the MO sometimes of this team, right? You're maybe a 4th-round pick, right? You take that. I'll take a 4th-round pick right now. Maybe use it to trade up a little bit or something. The fact that we aren't having those conversations right before the draft even leads me to believe that, do they not have confidence at all in Walker Little? Like, is the Walker Little that I've seen on film not what they see? Because I've seen a guy who, when he has his chances, like, he's not an issue.
Yeah, I don't know what it says. I really don't. I don't know what it says about Walker Little. Here's the thing. I try to take things at face value. And I believe, first of all, my thought, and it might be different than a lot of people's thought in the building, and that's fine. They get paid to do it. I get paid to evaluate what they do or analyze what they do. I think Walker Little's a good football player. Like, I think he's played well when he's been in there. Whether that's a popular opinion or not, I don't know. Whether that's their opinion or not, I don't really know. I don't think they're just going to be like, no, we don't like him. So I think he's a good football player, and I think he's done a lot here, actually, in Jacksonville. I think he's saved them at times in Jacksonville. But I also think if you go back to their playoff run of 2022, I think something continues to stick out to me and probably to them. They needed 3 tackles that year. They needed Jawan Taylor, Cam Robinson, and Walker Little to make their playoff run. And I think they tried to keep that a little bit together last year, and it made sense. But if you actually go back to last year when they drafted Anton Harrison, my guess is they were miffed at the Cam Robinson situation, and they also knew they were going to be able to save a bunch of money on cap space this year, upcoming in 2024, if they got rid of Cam Robinson, and they were drafting his replacement. Or at least going to ride with Walker Little and Anton Harrison in some way, shape, or form, move on from Cam. What's wild is the record indicated a lot of this year they were better with Cam. The attitude and edginess that this team maybe lacked, he has. And right now, they're still with Cam, and they have endorsed Cam as being part of this football team. And he would be potentially a trade piece, but maybe more importantly, he'd be free up $15, $16 million, I think it is. And they're not doing it or haven't done it. I think right now, if you had asked me almost any time in 2023, if we would be here on April 1st and Cam Robinson would still be on this football team, I'm surprised if he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so here I am on April 1st, and I'm surprised that he is. And I also think that shows us that 25 days away from the draft, what we think the direction of the organization's going in 3 weeks, and there are several ways to think about that pick, by the way. That was really how we got on here. I think it's really up for grabs at what they're going to take at 17 or what they're going to do in terms of trade up or trade back or trade for Ayuk or trade for Higgins or trade whatever. There's a lot of things on the table that I would not rule out right now in Jacksonville. But I also think whatever it looks like on April 25th might not necessarily be the way it looks at April 1st of 2025 in terms of impacting the future, because I think Cam's a perfect example of that.
Take Mitch Morse out of this conversation real quick. Is Cam Robinson the best offensive lineman this team has right now on the roster? And I'm not saying based off of what we think of, like what it tells us right now.
I don't look at the numbers very often, so I don't know what it says. I would say yes.
Yeah.
Now, I hesitate because I still think Sheriff had a better year than people want to give him credit for at the right guard spot, but I'm going to say yes.
And I'm kind of on that train as well. I would agree with you here. Once again, throwing out like the off the field stuff with the sitting the games and everything. But I'm just saying from an on the field standpoint. So if we're both sitting here and we're saying, well, he's the best offensive lineman that they have right now, I guess that I'm asking myself, then why am I so quick to letting him go? Or like, why am I so quick to say, hey, can we get some trade value for him? Can we get some draft capital? Because I understand, like, it comes with the price tag, yes, but once again, is the salary cap real? We will find out. Until that time, though, can you justify getting rid of your best offensive lineman right now?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. And I think maybe the answer, and maybe that's the truthful part of this, is no.
Birthday is also.
Is his birthday today?
Oh, is it real?
Yeah.
I thought you just created that as in like we're talking about Cam Robinson, so Walker Little's out.
Nope.
Happy birthday, Walker Little.
39 minutes ago.
So here's the deal. You checking to make sure?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're trying to say something or not. It's April 1st as well.
That's crazy. Jags have a ton of birthdays on April 1st.
Hold on.
That's nuts.
Okay.
Okay, so I like your question. Is he the best one? Then why would you get rid of him? Why would you go backwards? I think that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could, what I would say is, right, let's go Foye Oluokun. Foye Oluokun, he's your best linebacker, and the gap is this.
Yeah.
I think Cam Robinson, I would say you can make the case he's your best offensive lineman, but I think the gap is like here.
Yeah.
I mean, really, by the end of this next year, you could maybe argue Anton Harrison's better than him. I thought Anton Harrison played a good rookie year and has a lot of upside.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where they would think about Walker Little, or maybe Ezra Cleveland comes. Like, I don't know where he is. It's a projection business. And so when you're talking about the business side of getting something in return or saving $15, $16 million based on how much better he is than everybody else, I think that's where teams make the tough decisions. Like New England has done that over the years. Baltimore's done that over the years. It didn't mean they didn't think they were the best option. They just thought marginally for the price tag versus what we have below, this is the prudent move to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you bring up a good point, and you might be right. Hey, you got another picture of the draft hat. Speaking of draft, 25 days away now that we've hit April. You guys already chuckled. I think the draft hat's actually kind of good.
Real
which
quick,
means it probably sucks.
Are we just going to give Jaguars Twitter a pat? Are we sure their birthdays are both on April 1st?
You checked it.
Yeah, but it's on Wikipedia. Like, did they somehow...
You think they changed it?
I mean, what are the odds of that?
But what's the point of screwing around with that?
Because it'd be the ultimate April Fool's joke.
Brent, you like this?
I liked it.
I like the hat.
Yeah, Hammy, what's wrong with that?
Okay.
That's a good draft hat.
You don't like it, huh?
So it says Walker Little's birthday is April 1st, 1999. That's the same birthday as Gabe Davis. So they're literally born the same year, same birthday and everything?
I know a lot about the Jags, but I don't have their birthdays memorized.
I know. I wish you would, Brent. Come on. I'm sure Andrew Catalan would have had it memorized. And you know why? And that's why he's calling the big games.
That is true.
And you're sitting here next to a guy who's bragging about putting dead deers on doors and stuff for April Fools.
You know what? We got to play our strengths and weaknesses.
I guess so, man.
So what's the deal? We like the hat?
I don't mind the hat at all. I mean, listen, there's some times where it's like, what are they thinking? Or like this, you know. I mean, I know how you feel about the flat brim, but aside from that, I think it's a cool looking hat.
Yeah, I was going to go there too. I was like, Brent, I'm surprised, you know.
Well, I can't do anything about that. Everything's a flat bill. I mean, I'm talking stylistically. I think it's a very cool hat. I wish I would bend that the lid a little bit, the bill.
Yes.
But I do like it. I think it's good. I think it's like a charcoal gray, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
well, I like the side, the Duval thing.
I think the
that's
Duval
cool.
fits. Like that's good.
And you see how it kind of ties into the Jacksonville flag a little bit with like the sun.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See what they did there?
I see what you did there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I like that. I'm not mad at that. Hamby, what do you want to see then?
It's growing on me now that you pointed that out.
Oh, the peer pressure's got.
They have some bad ones over the years.
Peer pressure getting to the kids' corner. Yeah, it is.
I mean,
they had some horrible ones.
Like it's like who approves this stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this one's good. I don't know if like all the teams did pretty well.
Oh, that's a good call.
What's the steal? Are you a big uniform guy, Hamby?
What do you mean?
Like, a lot of people are going to be. Is this like an alternate jersey year, or potentially an alternate jersey year for the Jags?
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm not a uniform guy.
I know
I'm not
the
either.
Lions getting new jerseys this year. Texans getting new jerseys.
But like,
I don't know about the alter.
It's a certain amount of like years go by where you can get a whole new jersey. I mean, a whole new combo.
Yeah.
Seems like there are teams that get new ones every year.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. Like there's a certain window that has to go by. And then there's also like a certain window in there where you can actually add an alternate jersey, which may have been the one when they did I don't know if the color rush was the exception or made the bad choice on the mustard, or maybe that was when it was at. I don't even know.
Yikes.
Because I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
But I think this is the year they could do it. I don't know, whatever they end up doing, but people love that stuff. And that's why people love, like, I don't know if people are as obsessed with, like, the hat from the draft, but I do think they're going to like it overall.
Well, people are clamoring for new uniforms, obviously. I mean, I feel like it's like a yearly thing. I just think you have to get the new uniforms when you have a consistent winner.
Yeah, the Jags right now, see, I like the Jags uniform combinations that they have right now. I think they're pretty slick looking.
Mm-hmm.
But what people now go to is somebody wants, like, a retro Jags. Like, I feel like Twitter does. I'm not sure if all Jags fans do, but they want, like, an old school Jags, whether it's an alternate or part of it all the time. You see these all the time on social media that people are drawing them up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we can go for days about the uniforms and everything. I just wish they would have added gold around, like, the numbers. Because like there's like no lining around the numbers. Like every team in the NFL usually has like the lining on the numbers. It's just white.
That'd be a good little ad.
Yeah.
A little trimming.
A little subtle. Yeah, a little trimming. Thank you.
All right. Let's take a break. We come back, hopefully like Draft Cap. It's in Detroit this year, and we'll have an hour special draft night, 7 to 8 o'clock on Fox 30, 25 days from now, and a lot of draft coverage in between now and then. Brent Austen Show, Action Sports Jacks, 24/7 Network. The Masters on the horizon. Will be in Augusta for a day or two coming up next week. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability.
Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part, they did it in one day.
It was a professional process from step one. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnicht Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnicht family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnicht Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnicht Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnicht Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnichtbuickgmc.com. Nimnicht, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It's a new logo, new branding, but with Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. And with that comes the perks we miss in the big business world. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained. And they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. The folks at Bold City Heating and Air also know your AC unit is important and can be a big expense. That's why they have financing to help. No payments, no interest for 12 months on new systems. $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown. Bold City Heating and Air.
When you think sports, you think Action Sports Jax, the official station of the Jaguars, on location for every game. But the most experienced team in town doesn't stop there. From high school football to the big events in the area, Action Sports Jax is always on. Now, we take that to a new level. Action Sports Jax 24/7 is around-the-clock coverage of the teams you love and the moments you can't miss. The best local sports in Jacksonville on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
The Pac-Man needs to be played here in the month of April. I haven't been doing that again lately. I'm going to get into a groove. Will we ever have a Pac-Man contest here on the show?
We got to.
Not until somebody beats me. I haven't even seen, you know what's the thing? Like in the chat, usually you get, I'll come take Brent on. I haven't even really seen that. Won't even get, I'm not sure we got enough, we got people that can play or not. So sign up for the Pac-Man tournament coming soon.
Did anybody challenge y'all to that free throw competition at Strings?
Yeah, we've had some, we didn't really necessarily challenge us. We had a great turnout over there. But there's a bunch more taking 10 for trying to get that 10 for 10. In fact, Scott over there at String Sports Brewery said they want more people. They've got like 7 or 8 people registered at Strings to get to get into the mix. You have until Friday to do it. Basically, you go over to String Sports Brewery in Springfield, and you got to get 10 out of 10 free throws. Austin got like 8 out of 10 3 different times. And doesn't cost anything to do or anything like that. Go grab some lunch, have a beer, and shoot some free throws. And if you do that, you become registered into essentially the playoff bracket, which will be Saturday night prior to or during the Final Four. More details when you go to Strings on exactly what time. And they think they're going to probably get it done all that night, or they could bring some people back for the finale on Monday. But I think they might just try to finish it off Saturday night. The winner gets 65-inch TV, and it's just fun bragging rights as well. So you have until Friday to do that. We might be back out at Strings on Thursday, trying to put the calendar together. You're out Friday, Hamby, so I don't want to go on Friday. Might have Casey in here. So Thursday we could go back to Strings and 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. We enjoy being out there in the lunch hour. And then the next 2 Fridays after that, April 12th and 19th, we are going to the Best Bet in St. Augustine. So we'll be back down there live at Best Bet St. Augustine. We'll go there a couple times a month. And in May, we're looking to do like a studio audience show from Best Bet in St. Augustine. And I'm working on like some shirts and hats and things like that to give away to like the first, I'm thinking like 25 folks. We don't want like a massive crowd, to be honest. We wouldn't mind a little bit of a crowd. I don't want to be bringing my family members. And you never know when you throw those things out there. But it's the day before the Kentucky Derby. Big day at Best Bet on Derby Day. And I love the Kentucky Derby. Mm-hmm. So we figure we'll have a little Derby party prior. And for the show, a little studio audience at Best Bet. You get some giveaway stuff, maybe win some other prizes. So we're working on that. So stay tuned. That'll be the first Friday of May, which I don't even have the date in front of me. But that's what we're working on. So the show is going on the road, baby. We can take the show on the road. We've proven that we can, and we will continue to do so over these next couple months and throughout. It's really been fun to kick this thing off. Brent Martineau, Austen Lane, Jason Hamby. Austin had to get out of here for a couple minutes. Heck, we're about ready to get out of here. This show feels like it went fast today.
It did. We hit like 10 sports.
Yeah, we did. I like the variety today. We were just talking in the break, actually. It's like, we're a little light, honestly, on the football side of things right now. It's a little lull in the action. And we know we talk football a lot, and we talk football a lot. We know that kind of drives the bus. But the football conversation is a little bit on the lighter side. I think just for maybe this week. It looks like it's going to be this week. Pro days are pretty much in the books. Mm-hmm. Free agency is pretty much in the books. The owners' meetings were just in the books last week. So really the draft will heat up. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the draft start to heat up even next week. What's going to be fascinating, and I'll have to go back and look at the days when this stuff happens, is when do the moves start being made for draft position? Because I think there are 2 things that I believe that are going to happen in this draft. I think people are going to be aggressive for quarterback, which, no, really, Brent? That's what people get. That's what people do. We had a conversation about that Friday. People overdraft it. But, Hamby, if you look at like Minnesota sitting at 11 and the Raiders sitting at 12, and then there are even some other teams you could throw in the mix. Denver, could those teams slide up? And if they are going to slide up, when are they going to slide up?
Right.
To kind of get in front of somebody else that might. See, when you have multiple teams that could factor into it, I think you have trades that happen earlier than draft night. Mm-hmm. So there's that with the quarterback spot. I also believe that could be the case with the receiver spot. If everybody covers these 3 guys and there's separation, distinct separation, well, we know there's a bunch of teams like the Chiefs, like maybe the Jags, that aren't drafted in the first half of the draft that might want to move up. And I say that, I don't know if the Jags want to move up, but you could make the case that they would want to move up. Same with the Chiefs. Well, then I think that's where we get like all of a sudden tomorrow at 11 o'clock, you see a report comes up. The Kansas City Chiefs just traded up to the 8th pick with whoever, and now they're sitting in the 8 hole. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't, as I say that out loud, it doesn't seem to make a ton of sense. You'd probably more trade up with Arizona in the 4 spot.
Yeah, Falcons are at 8.
Right? because you want to go to the spot where you know you can get that best player available at that position. And right now, I think most people would project that quarterback's going to go in the top 3.
Right.
So I really think Arizona has a lot of power. You can make the case New England has power too, but I think Arizona has a lot of power. Now, if you actually on your board have it like the group think has it, where you can't go wrong with any of those 3 receivers, well, now you can mess around with 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to get all the way up to 4 if you don't really care who falls to you. But you got to ask yourself this question. Would you really be trading all the way up to number 4, 5, or 6 if you didn't covet one specific player?
Right. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it.
You figure you're kind of all in on one player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's fast. I think it's a really interesting draft. And listen, they're always interesting. Like, we can always make a case they're interesting. There's different ones. The Jags was it interesting when they drafted Trevor Lawrence? Well, not really. It was fun. You knew what they were going to do. It was a little more fascinating with the Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson. Like, what are they going to do? There's plenty of debate. There's still debate over that one. There's a lot of intrigue, but not a lot of buzz when you're picking at the back of the bus, like number 28 or something like that. But this one at 17 has the Jags right in the middle to do a lot of different things, and it will be interesting to see what they do. So we get to talk about that over the next few weeks as we begin the month of April. We got to get out of here on a Monday. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Had a good weekend. Thanks for hanging with us. And again, find us on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, on the Action News Jacks app, and also on actionnewsjacks.com. Have a great Monday. We'll do it again tomorrow, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m.